All right. Welcome, everybody, to the September hackathon here, where we are going to be reviewing some portfolio websites, selecting what we feel are the top portfolio websites out of several hundred that were submitted. And we have two awesome guests with us that are going to be helping with this. These are going to be the judges. Based on the thumbnail of the video, you probably already kind of guessed that. So we have Francesco from daily.dev. Thank you for being one of the sponsors for this. And Danny Thompson, who probably needs no introduction, but just in case, we'll make sure to introduce them. Awesome Twitter star. Both of these people are just kicking ass on Twitter, doing a lot in the community for open source, for people trying to get hired in the industry and so on. So this is going to be a fun stream. We're going to make it casual, but we're going to start off with thanking our sponsors, taking a look at who's making this possible, who gave money for this. And then we're going to ask Danny some questions. He's going to be the guest of honor, and then we'll get into reviewing the portfolio website. So sorry about my setup here. My audio might be a little off. I'm in the process of moving, so I don't have my webcam. I'm working from my laptop and my desktop computer, so it's not going to be as good as normal here, but yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, what I want to do here is thank our sponsor, Agora. So we have $1,500 available for this hackathon that's going to be given to our participants here. So if I share my screen here, and I'm going to have to do this from my second setup here. Give me a second. So we have Agora.io here, and this is the company I actually work at. And Agora is a real-time engagement platform. They do audio and video calling, real-time data signaling. They have SDKs for all of this. So really awesome tool. They're making this possible along with Daily Dev. So daily.dev, this is actually a Chrome extension I love to use. It gives me the latest news for any blog posts related to developer related content, anything I like, whether it's Python or Django, Node.js. I'm always seeing the latest content pulled down from all of these platforms, and it's an awesome extension. Keeps me up to date with all the latest news. This is what Francesco is representing. So thank you to the sponsors. Again, it wouldn't be possible without these amazing companies that are willing to join the developer community and make this possible. So with that, Francesco, you're representing Daily Dev. If I can start with you here, if you can go ahead and say a few things about yourself. Maybe if I missed something, go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
Yeah, it's always good to have this kind of podcast. So listening, so at least we update of what you're doing. So I'm Francesco, 39, from Italy. I'm a developer advocate at Daily Dev, also Docker captain, public speaker, active on different social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and that's it. So I'm also building a community. So we're doing a lot of things. But we are here, so let's focus on this. I just want to say that you made already an awesome job showing the Daily Dev. Thank you so much, and I'm really enjoying this company. I joined almost 1 year ago. It's incredible. 1 year already passed, so it's really mind blowing. And I'm really loving all the things that basically this started as a side project by just one person, and now we are here talking as a company, and it's really an amazing story, an inspiring story that one day I'll tell in details. So yes, you can use it. Just want to say that this tool is totally free, so this makes my job super easy. So you can just test it out. You have nothing to lose. It's open source.
Yeah, and you've done amazing work for them too. So make sure to check out Francesco on Twitter. It's linked up in the video description along with Danny here. But he's doing awesome stuff on Twitter. He's a Twitter Spaces. How do you say it? Addict? Twitter Spaces addict. Yeah, he can't.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can stop whenever I want.
All right. So then we have Danny Thompson also on Twitter, 228,000 subs. You're killing it. I remember when you were at like 30,000. But Danny, yeah, go ahead and say hello to everyone.
Hey, everybody. I'm Danny Thompson. I have some audio issues right now, so I got these big-ass headphones on. But super happy to be here. Honestly, I love the idea when I heard about it, supporting folks that are making portfolio sites and showing off their projects and things like that. And obviously, you know me, I'm a huge advocate for trying to help people land jobs in tech. And so a big goal of mine is always, how can we get somebody from step A to step B in the best way possible? And we all know a portfolio site is a big factor of that. As of right now, I've helped almost 800 people land their very first jobs in tech. I want to keep increasing that number, of course. So I focus a lot of the community aspects. I don't do a ton of stuff where it doesn't benefit the community one way or another. So we've built the Commit Your Code Discord, which is grown to almost 12,000 developers and growing. almost every single day I'm getting a post in there saying, the real life information people are getting has helped them. We have like the resume feedback channel where if you're trying to get help for a resume, I saw a lot of people kind of getting scammed, paying like $500 for resume reviews or portfolio reviews. And here you get paid to submit your portfolio, something that's pretty cool, right? So this hackathon's a great idea. But so I wanted to kind of circumvent that. And instead of you paying $500, you can get it done for free. And we don't make the resume for you, but we do have a lot of ways to kind of help you get through that. And so right now, currently working with LinkedIn on a course on how to use LinkedIn in the right way. So super excited for that to be rolling out. I'll be the first to admit, I like operating at a very fast timeline. Big organizations don't necessarily operate on those same timelines, but it will be coming out. Super, super excited for that. I'm starting my new job literally in a couple of days. I'll be at AutoZone. So if you need auto parts, check out AutoZone, right? Hopefully you'll be paying a portion of my paycheck if you do that, right? And honestly, just continue to grow. Just left my last organization where full stack developer, React and Go went from Java Angular, and I can kind of code a little bit. So, that kind of helps out when I talk about tech. And the next thing that I'm going to be working on, hopefully, is a complete beginner's course into possibly TypeScript, but I know I'll be doing one on HTML, CSS, and possibly another one in JavaScript as well. So lots of things coming out in like the next 6 months.
Oh yeah, I was surprised about the AutoZone thing. I got to ask you some questions about that. But when I first mentioned in my Discord server that I was having Danny Thompson review these portfolio sites, everyone freaked out. I mean, people love you. It's pretty easy to name drop your name, and everybody knows who you are. So people are really excited the fact that there's going to be a chance that you will see their portfolio site. So definitely excited for them. So Danny, so we're going to be looking at portfolio sites, but because of your LinkedIn series, by the way, Danny has a LinkedIn series linked up down in the video description, his Twitter account, YouTube, same with Francesco, Twitter and YouTube is all linked down in the description. Danny has a LinkedIn series where, he's teaching people, as he mentioned, how to get jobs, how to promote yourself, how to properly build out your LinkedIn account, how to post and get attention there. With that, I want to focus on that first, and then we'll slowly merge into portfolio sites. So the LinkedIn stuff, the resume stuff. So I prepped out a few questions here. Francesco has a few too. So let's get into that. Again, you're our guest of honor. I mean, everyone was so excited when you were joining. So let's start here, and let's go into the resume section first, and then maybe we can kind of blend this in with a portfolio. So when you're looking at a resume or maybe even a LinkedIn account, what's the first thing that's standing out to people? What are you looking for that people need to, I guess, make an appearance and have somebody not just skip over their account or resume?
Yeah, so there's a lot of like really obvious things. Here's one thing that I've noticed all across tech, whether it's you're an absolute beginner to like a director of a division in a company. Developers don't have a clue what to write on resumes. Like, for real, it's so bad. I can't tell you how many resumes I've fixed nonstop working on them. One of the biggest areas that people forget to do is when they list, for example, their job. For example, right now you're working at, Agora and, Francesco at daily.dev. Sometimes when you mention your experience, it may be like, oh, I was in DevRel, I spoke at conferences. One of the biggest things people forget is no one is looking for the basic job roles within your role, right? Like, we know if you're a developer, we know you wrote code, we know you worked on. Talk about the actual contribution you made to that company, right? Simple as that. The actual contribution. For example, prime example, I worked on a resume the other day. It said, worked on a landing page for the website. Did you work on a landing page, or did you optimize the sales funnel to get customers in and it led to a 10% conversion rate, right? Like, giving real numbers make arbitrary items that you're discussing real facts. You want to try and quantify the things that you can. Now, obviously, you're not always going to have a thing where I led $1 million initiative, right? I wish we all could have that. But make things real. And this even comes down to if you don't have real work experience, meaning in tech, right? Some people are like, well, I never worked in tech, so what do I talk about? Still talk about the things that you contributed to. And what's funny is I've had so many people look at some of my earlier resumes. I have one pinned in the Discord, I believe, where it's the first resume that I utilized to get my first job in tech. And all my experience then was frying chicken in the gas station, right? But I talked about how I helped reduce the expiration dates and turnover. I helped increase impulse customer purchase buying at the point of sale. I helped increase large catering orders, things like that. Talking about those facts, it's far different than just saying I fried chicken in a fryer. The other thing is, I think people forget on a resume that this isn't supposed to be your autobiography. It's supposed to pique interest, get them excited about something, to say, I need to jump on a call with Francisco. I need to jump on a call over here with Dennis. I need to jump on a call with Arit or Graham. That's the whole purpose. Pique that interest, get them interested, and then you can give the autobiography in the interview.
I love the idea of the specificness. This is actually something after my wife, Solamita, when she built her resume, she watched your LinkedIn series, and then she gave me all these notes. She made a tweet about this, an entire thread, and I actually went through that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Even though I've actually looked through, probably over 800 resumes at this point, I still learned something. And in that example, I realized that it's like, hey, you're a developer, X amount of years of experience. I already assume you code, but what did you actually do there? And in that, there could be something as big as, like you said, I rebuilt this landing page that led to 70% increase in sales. Well, what if you didn't do that? Then that can be as simple as, hey, I built this little component on this page that really help drive traffic, or there's a way to word it that says, hey, I did this specific thing so I can get an idea of what you're capable of and what you're working on. I love that, because when I was actually looking through my last series of resumes, that's what I started paying attention to. And I didn't realize subconsciously I was already doing that. But once you mentioned it, it never left my mind. That's always what I look for. What specifically did somebody do? So I love that. As far as a portfolio site, so we're gonna have to look at the comparison between that. For me personally, resume is pretty big. I noticed myself looking quite a bit at portfolio sites, but I don't know how weighted it was compared to the resume. What's your opinion on that for a developer to even have that, whether they have a lot of experience or no experience at all?
Yeah, so I'll do this, and I won't take long to explain this one. But for me, there's 4 steps to landing a job in tech, especially when it's your first job. First one is LinkedIn profile. I'm not going to explain that. You need to be on LinkedIn if you're trying to get your first job. Second one is your portfolio site. The third one is your portfolio items, and the fourth one is your resume. You need all 4. Your portfolio site, it's not the site itself, right? The site is very cool. You get to be creative, whatever it may be. But here's the one thing I think people forget about what the actual function of a portfolio site is. It's you controlling the path that someone is going down. So you get to show them your best work first. This is big, because if you just give me a GitHub link, maybe I go to the project you don't want me to check out first. Maybe I go to the project that's unfinished. It doesn't showcase your best abilities. And, I'm like, oh, they're not at that level yet. And I click off. Going through the portfolio site, you show me your best work first. And I say, I now know where Rida's high capabilities are. I know where Abdel's capability is to say, okay, he can go ahead and code this. He can code that. So if I see something that's completely undone, I can say, I know where they can go. So I can maybe finish this conversation in an interview or something like that. Getting their best foot forward first. But the other thing is, understand something with a portfolio site. Who is the first person that's going to see that portfolio site? It's not the hiring manager. It's the recruiter. The recruiter isn't necessarily a technical savvy individual. So by showing them a great portfolio site, they don't know the difference between React and Angular or C# Java. They don't code. Their specialty and skills are with people. Their job is to literally get people and take them into a role, take them into a place. So by showing them something nice, aesthetically pleasing, but also showing them all the information they need, they can make a very informed decision. I always say educated people make informed decisions. Educate them. Show them what you need to show them and really control that pathway.
Yeah, you're right. You're controlling how they're even navigating your entire resume or online profile. So it's a good chance to see it, because if you're submitting the GitHub profile, they're going to look through some code. Maybe they don't understand what's going on there. They see the CV. It doesn't look that appealing, but that's really your chance to impress. So with that, this is a common question. I see this all the time, but what about a portfolio site in as far as its appearance? I mean, I know you're trying to impress, but let's say you're a backend developer, you don't have those skills. Is there something specific or a type of look that you're going for to try to catch that attention? And maybe what's that visual hierarchy as far as what you should put onto it? Like, what are you looking for first? Usually, your basic information or projects, or are you looking for the bio? What's going through your mind?
So I'll say I don't necessarily look for like super design things. It doesn't have to be super like flashy, right? And here's the one thing. Understand the audience that you're pushing towards this portfolio site. And matter of fact, this is a really great question because I had a good one-on-one call the other day with somebody who ended up getting a job in tech because of it. But I think there's a distinct difference between what's really cool to developers and what's cool to business-focused individuals that work in HR or heads of divisions and things like that. They may not think the CSS animations here are super cool. So I think the priority for your portfolio site, this is the priority, is the flow of information and how you navigate people through that flow. So if you can kind of take them through your work history, projects that you've done, maybe some volunteering experience that you've done, that's a great flow. But if you start throwing, for example, in the case of this individual, I won't name them, but they're kind of semi-popular on Twitter as well. But one of the cool things that they had was they made their entire portfolio site in like a comic strip format where everything was animated in like 80s style comics. I was like, this is really cool as a developer. As a business professional, this is a terrible experience. And I don't necessarily know if you have the skills necessary to work in a business setting. And I don't think they would think that. I think that's why you get so many hits on your portfolio site, but no phone calls. That's a distinct thing to think about. If you're noticing a lot of traffic going to your portfolio site and not one person is picking up the phone to call you or send you an email, you might have a problem with your flow of information.
Yeah, some people get pretty fancy with it, but the conversion process is not all there. Yeah, Francesco, you had a few questions for Danny. I'd love to.
I have many questions. We can stay here for 3 hours. I just want to say that Danny Thompson is the only person who can handle 2 hosts at the same time. It's like a chess game with 2 people at the same time. So now is my turn. Welcome. It has been a while, but I think not that long because we made an interview months ago. I say weeks, but I think it was a few months ago. And so I would like to ask you about mistakes. What maybe from a recruiter point of view can really be a red flag, because of course we don't want our recruiter to just say, okay, so let's discard this. So what do you think are like the red flags to avoid when we do a portfolio? The classic mistakes that you probably have seen millions.
I think I know one.
So go with your one.
The skills progress bar. Sorry, I just wanted to, because I know Danny hates that. I have my own opinion on that, but I've seen you call that one out a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of somebody putting a percentage, stars, the circles to say how much they know about HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And I'll tell you why. And I've seen this happen time and time again. Here's a prime example. Let's say you're interviewing for a position that needs a React developer, and you put on your portfolio site or you put on your resume, I know 50% of React, right? Number one, how did you come up with 50%? Was that a feeling that you have that based on what you know now, you think you know 50% of the framework or library or language or tool or whatever it is that you put there? Or did you take some standardized test? If so, what test is it? Because I don't know of any. So where are you coming up with this number? But now let's say you say 50%. I'm like, they probably don't know enough. I'm going to pass on them. Mm-hmm. What if you knew 100% of what I needed for a developer? Just by you putting that, you discounted yourself and eliminated yourself from the interview process because you put some arbitrary metric on the side. Let them decide how much you know about that. Let them see through your talking, through your interviewing ability, through your technical assessment, through your projects, how much you know. But also you may be showing them, hey, maybe I don't know anything. Maybe I don't know everything, but I do have the ability to gain this information and to grow with what I don't know. And I think that's part of the process. That's how you become a successful developer as far as I'm concerned. So don't discount yourself. I always say, if you discount yourself before we have a conversation, do not be surprised if I start following the same tempo and discount you as well.
It's your chance to flex, and it's like you're answering your weaknesses when somebody asks you your strengths. It's like, why do that?
I think that I know why people put percentages. For me, it's the percentage of Udemy course they complete.
I'm 2% on everything at that point. Like,
yeah, I get the intent, but you're right. You actually explained it the best way possible. Because for me, I wasn't too against it, but I think you officially told me, because you're saying you can, the whole discounting part of it. Because for me, I always understood it as like, hey, how comfortable am I with this? But what if what if you're 60% comfortable with Python, but you meet all the requirements of what they need, and you can pick up the rest on the job if you needed it. Like you just eliminated yourself.
And to be honest, if anybody put 100%, that's an automatic throwing them away. Like there's just, I'm not gonna work with anybody that has 100% of JavaScript done because I don't know how long they've been doing this.
I don't want to work with a liar. Yeah.
Not gonna fit our culture.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, at the end, if we have time, I do want to do an open Q&A. So if anybody has questions for myself, Danny, Francesco, keep those in mind. We'll try to get to those if we have time. Yeah. Francesco, have you got
more?
If you have more, I don't want to make. I don't want.
Yeah,
if you know me, I'm very unstructured. I love
going, keep going for more 3 more hours. I don't know if we want to go on the hackathon review, but yes, I can go.
Sure. If you feel like you have something that would be good for the audience, go ahead and ask it. Otherwise, we'll just start jumping into looking through a few of these sites.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
y'all don't know. Me and Francesco, we could be talking all day.
Sure.
Long. Like he's one of the few people. Yeah.
Sure.
Nice.
Let's do it. So.
Nice.
And at this point, then, what I'm going to do here again, if I can make this work right, forgive my ugly spreadsheet here, but I have this the spreadsheet of a bunch of yellow portfolios. In fact, I'm just going to change this right here. So we had over 450 registrants, and we had about 155 that met the standard of what a qualified portfolio should be. That means either you didn't or you submitted your GitHub, the portfolio was quality, it had a live link to it, and so on. With that, we had to go through a filtration process and get this down to about 29. And I'm sorry for a lot of people that won't have theirs reviewed live here. They were reviewed pre-stream, but we can't. There's just not enough time to be able to do all of this, in a live stream unless we want this thing to go on for 4 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through these together, and I'm going to have Danny and Francesco make some notes here. We have 3 columns here, and maybe I'll just hide these so they can do this privately. And we're just going to look at some portfolios, the ones that we think are going to be ranked in the top 10. And the top 5 of those top 10 will receive $150 in prize money. So if anybody that ranks in that top 5 happen to use a pre-built template, or maybe it was like a full copy of somebody else's, we're not going to criticize you for that. We're just going to not going to have you participate in that prize money. So you'll just still be entered in the random drawing for the 7 people, I believe, that we're going to draw that are going to win $100 each. So there are over 150 people that are going to have a chance to win $150. So most everybody that submitted is going to be in that participation here. So we're just going for the best portfolios, and then we're going to do that random drawing. The reason why I did this is so designers don't just dominate this, because back-end developer versus a designer, not really a fair competition for portfolio websites. So that's where we're going to have the best one, and then just the drawing here. So what I'm going to do here is let's just go ahead and try to move this all the way to the right. So I'll move it off of screen, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So we're going to review these links here, and if you see your name, well, congrats, you made it into the top 29 or 28. We're going to go ahead and review these. We're just going to look through them right now. I want some comments from Danny, Francesco. We're going to talk about it, and then they're going to make their notes. And Danny, I will share this link with you here. So let me actually take this off screen. And you had a question?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, hey, I can't.
You don't have a link?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. I just need to take this off screen so nobody joins and starts modifying it. Starts adding notes to their own.
It's the internet, man.
Yeah. I've had people interrupt streams like this where I've actually built like live sites, and they'll just start posting stuff that's not appropriate, even for the internet, or stuff that can just get me kicked off of YouTube. So Danny, I just DM'd that in our Twitter thread.
Got it.
So if you can open that up,
yep,
make those comments right now. Let's just open these up. Just look at them, because I know we need some context before. You can't just start making judgments until you see, everything that's available here. So we'll just go ahead and open these up. So the first one is the name is M. Alvi. We're going to look through this. So again, anything you see, anything you like or dislike, let's just start, I guess, forming an opinion here, just taking a look at it. These are ones that I thought were definitely, they definitely stood out from what was submitted from everyone else. And again, you guys have all those links too. So M. Alvi, we have a full stack developer. I do like this section. This actually reminds me a lot of who was this? Flavio Scopes or Copes. Do you know that website?
Mm-hmm.
Flavio Copes.
Yeah, Flavio. Here we go.
Flavio.
I noticed that it looks a lot like this. So I'm assuming maybe that's where they were inspired from. Very similar to that.
Not the same. Not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is good if you want to take inspiration. This is not copying. This is, I think, good.
No.
You know, completely different site, but I definitely see the resemblance. In fact, it's a little bit different. But as far as like a portfolio site, there's not that much text to it. I see your tech stack. You know, my visual hierarchy goes for what you do, your technologies. Yeah, that's important to me. And then I definitely want to see projects, but I don't see an about section. But I do like the visual look of this. I see all their social links. Do they have a bio here?
So, do I make comments on this now, or do I just write my comments?
No. I'd love your feedback right now. So just so everyone can kind of see this, but make your comments in that Excel sheet. So later on, you can go back to it and say, you know, I like this or I didn't like it. This, you know, so you can compare later.
So there's definitely some things I like about the site, and I kind of opened it up on my side as well, so I can make sure that I see everything clearly and I'm not missing anything. So, couple things here. Number one, your call to action, your CTA is the view more, right? And so the view more, all it does is scroll down for me. I feel like you're missing a huge opportunity to capture the attention of whoever's come onto your website. So I'd be using that as like a resume. I'd be using that as connect with me on LinkedIn, something to kind of get them connecting with me. The other thing is, like, for example, all your languages and tools, everything is a different kind of color, and it's like in a weird shape that's not uniform. I would have rather had like your second line, for example, matching your fourth line, and as far as width goes, or like your fourth line matching your first line. It's just all randomized instead of the actual structure of the buttons. I would have probably done something to where it doesn't. It instantly stuck out to me as like, oh, this isn't like a set design, so it's just randomly thrown on there. The other thing that I would say here is you have two really interesting projects that you made in Lua. None of them really solve a problem. It's all for like CSGO, or it doesn't tell me the problem that it solves or like what it does. It just told me like, I made this thing for Counter-Strike. That's really cool. You made something for CSGO. Give me some description. Give me something to go off of. Like, though, here's the thing. Human beings eat with their eyes. Make me hungry. Give me something. You just tell me to visit a site. I don't know anything about the site. I don't know what it does. At least give me some kind of description here. But then the last thing is it's all your social links. There's no real thing to even contact you with. So like while you have like a really cool black and red aesthetic going on, there's no real meat to go with the aesthetic that you're showing. And I think that's like a big downfall for this site as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. I mean, I'm seeing something being built here. I'm not seeing the accomplishment, the inspiration behind it. Definitely get your point here. What was that you said? It was like we eat with our eyes. Is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I'm gonna have to quote you somewhere with that. That's good. Okay, cool.
Well,
Nice.
and the last point that I want to make. So I really think it's cool that you have that icon in the bottom right corner, right? But it doesn't do anything, so it just spins the whole time. One thing that I think that you could make this useful, besides just being an aesthetic, is that when someone starts scrolling, that circle in the beginning turns into an up arrow, and it can redirect them to the top of the page. So that way, if they scroll to the bottom, it will bring them back up to the top.
Yeah, that's my first instinct. I would think it maybe takes you home or something like that. Yeah, there's actually a really cool. I forgot what the site was called, but it actually shows you dead clicks on your website, and I actually did this for my personal site too. So I noticed people kept clicking on my picture, stuff like that. It actually shows you how people navigate it. Yeah, Francesco, you have any comments on that?
Yes. So the first approach is good, but then I see some inconsistency, I think, between the fonts at the top and the other fonts. This thing in the middle, I don't know. I get confused, and I am a developer, so thinking someone is a recruiter, I don't see like putting like languages or maybe technologies. I see like Mongoose, MongoDB, but then Python. So I feel lost, and I've used all these technologies. So it's I don't know. It could be great like to have like an animation that put them like in line and then here again, like I don't know, something like that. I don't like the thing that there is not the GitHub repository to the single project, so I have to go to GitHub and then look for those. So I will never do this if I have like 100 portfolios to review. So why, if this is a public repository, why don't put a GitHub link here to the project? And yes, that's it. And I see some inconsistency between the colors. I see this the red in the scroll bar and at the bottom, but then there is some orange, then some dark orange. So I see some and there is a red 5 icon with an A, but your name is MA. So but the logo is an M. I don't know. So it's a bit like pieces together. And yes, and I noticed a small typo on LinkedIn. Okay, it's not much, but like if someone is gonna check your LinkedIn profile, is not you're not putting them in the best. It seems like something done fast to a recruiter. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and definitely the shades are red. And by the way, I see some comments. Clinton is actually here. So it was really hard because I really had to filter these down. So what I had to do was make a list and then just keep filtering it through and trying to get anything that stood out more than the other. So Clinton, your site was actually good. It doesn't mean that if you didn't make this, it wasn't here. I'm actually gonna put together like a blog post on this based off of what the top sites were, from Danny's and mine and Francesco's assessment. So that's the unfortunate part. There were a lot of good sites that I had to eliminate, but we had to try to find variety in there. So don't take it as anything personal there. So here's the next site. So this is from Henry,
Can I make one comment?
Go ahead. Yep.
So VWeb Code made a comment saying they're not public repos. It's a Lua, and I sell its private code. This is something that I get a question on quite a bit when it comes to everything I work on is NDA. NDA, how can I talk about it or showcase it? Number one, if you're showcasing that project in your portfolio site, you need to be able to discuss whatever it is that you're showing. So for example, if you're saying it's private code, make something that's not private that you can show off to employers. You don't want to just say, oh, it's private, so just imagine it was fantastic, right? You got to show them something. So at least make one that's not private that you can talk about, that you can showcase, et cetera, et cetera. But number two, here's the thing. Even if it's private, you can still discuss things that it's achieved, things that it's done. That's the way to circumvent the whole NDA aspect. Make something that you can showcase or at least be able to discuss achievements that it's done. Hope that helps.
Yeah, in that case, you don't always have to submit the repo. The repo is always a good thing. But for me, it's, if you go to my website, I have a project on there. I'll just pull it up. I don't actually have the repo to it. I'll just give you an example. But I do talk about it and I do submit images for it. It was somewhere down here, laboratory management system. This is what I built out, the product, the idea, the final product, and I made sure to add in images. There is no GitHub repo. So at least someone can look at this and understand what was done with it and how it was put together. So yeah, if you're working on something private, there's different ways to talk about it, like Danny said. So this one right here, I can tell, it's funny how when you look at enough portfolio sites, you can see a pattern. This looks a lot like Kent Dodds right here, but I'm going to go ahead and allow this one. I don't know if we can allow it in the final competition because it is close to it, but I'll let Danny and Francesco kind of decide that. There's enough variety in it. So yeah, this is by Henry here. We have an introduction. I'm not too big of a fan of images that aren't directly descriptive to that person. Like they look cool, but it doesn't tell me too much. They do have a bio and project. So I like that right away. I can see what they're working on. And then I see their tech stack.
Yeah, and if I can say something like Kent Dodds, he doesn't need to introduce himself. By the way, I made a selfie with him just to give you some FOMO. So we are all different. So you're not him, and probably you're even better at him at doing something. But it's different. Like Benoit, they don't need an introduction. They put whatever they want. So yes,
it's like. Yeah. It's kind of like Matthew Cutts from he was one of the guys that worked at Google, very well known. I mean, his page is just plain HTML. Like when you're at a certain point, you need no introduction and you don't need to flex. I guess that is the flex. But Ken Dodds can definitely do that. He doesn't really need to show himself in his website.
Yeah, the only thing, by the way, if I didn't know about the Ken Dodds, I could say that this is definitely good. The only thing that now I really see that it hurts me is like that everything looks super clean, but then there is that top right resume button, which is probably something that you added, which has a different font. It's something like it's like stick with glue at the top right. Go there.
Yeah, it looks like it's not lined correctly with this, and then your padding's a little bit off. Like it looks like the R is about to touch that.
So I've got some comments. Francisco hit it straight on the head with the whole resume button one, because that was the first thing I said. Why is that there? It looks completely different and not a good way. It almost looks to me like, oh, maybe they forgot to put the styling on it for the resume. Like, because you have icon, word. You need to think of the flow, right? Here's the other thing. Number one, I don't necessarily like. Can you go back to Kenzie Dots for a second? Oh, you just closed it. So, for example, right, you see how he has the learn more about Kent at the bottom, right? But there's 2 CTAs before that. You now go back to Henry's. There's no CTAs, and so your CTA becomes see my work. When you do that, I'm just scrolling down. Give me something to capture my attention there, right? So that could be your resume button instead of it being up at the top right corner where it doesn't necessarily make sense. Or you could do something else like check out my latest work, something like that, right? Instead of just the scrolling thing. I'm not a big fan of a button to scroll. Like, I'm not a fool. I know how to scroll down a page. So give me something more besides just scrolling a little bit. But here's the real thing that got me. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Like, we see his projects there, right? We see Rally Cry, for example. And then we see Collab now. And now go down further. And now we have a couple paragraphs of text. Now scroll back up a second to the projects. You put so much text in the bottom. Where's the description for Rally Cry? Where's this description for Collab? It's 5 words. You couldn't give me something more to tell me what it is? Like, I don't even know what it is. What's Rally Cry? Esports for everyone. What does that even mean? Give me something more. And now here's one more thing. If you scroll back up to his top area again. I am a software engineer, and then the bottom Rally Cry is highlighted. I actually just tried, without realizing it, I tried to click on Rally Cry because I thought it was a hyperlink. I don't understand why you just highlighted the Rally Cry portion without another CTA or a way to send them to something. So I think that would be a way that you can highlight something that you're working on or doing, because instinctually I was like, oh, this must be a hyperlink. Let me check that out real fast. And it's just bolded words. I think if you're bolding something, it needs to serve a purpose. And so, for example, I would have the bold words more on like building accessible, et cetera, because that's like a huge point you could highlight versus highlighting more at Rally Cry. I think you're really missing the mark on that one. I'm a sucker for flat illustration images, so I think that's really cool. I think that you took a 3D aspect instead of being it flat, so I think that's interesting. But I don't necessarily think it shows anything that you're about. So, for example, if you go to Kenzie Dots, for example, so we have the cool thing, but if you notice, all those things around it are things that he's into. For example, the one wheel he's super into. He's super into like snow sports. So I know he really likes skiing and snowboarding. He talks about that quite a bit. These are things that are about him, instead of it just being a random illustration that I don't necessarily know if that represents anything that you're about. So I would work on those aspects a little bit. And also, if you notice on the Kenzie Dodds one, for example, if you scroll, what's it called? Back to the top of the screen. So if you hit Kenzie Dodds at the top left, it's supposed to redirect to the blog page. But it has like a call to action. Oh, it's the homepage. Okay.
Yeah, it goes to the homepage.
Yeah. So for example, but like if you go back to yours, for example, the Henry one, you have your links at the left. But there, for example, if you go to, let's say, work or about, it doesn't, there's nothing to take me all the way back to the very top. I would try and have a home icon there as well.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of like a single source of truth. So
yeah,
you always want to give people a chance to just go back to wherever they were. Okay, cool. So in that case, we'll make our comments there. And Francesco, it looks like we're just going to look at your face for a second.
Yeah, the last thing that I noticed is that there is not consistency between the fav icon and the image. Kerken Dots, it was the koala. For both of them, he made like a wizard and something different. So yeah, that's it. So small things that like of course, if we didn't know it was highly inspired, I want to say, but of course this make drops a bit because you get a lot of ideas already prepared, and I think he didn't nail he or she didn't nail. I don't know your thoughts about putting a picture Danny, because
that's a good question. Actually, I definitely love to hear Danny's opinion on that.
Because for me, it's not a good thing not putting who you are, because you can have someone with the same name. I can get on the wrong page. I'm not sure that you are the same person. I don't know which are your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think if you're, for example, redirecting from places like LinkedIn, etc., you might as well have the photo. But I try to have not like a professional photo, but something that gives life to who I am. So, for example, me teaching at boot camps, me teaching at meetups, volunteering at events and organizations. Those are extra things that like it almost emphasizes who you are outside of what they see on the resume and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking to do. Like a picture can enunciate and it can like really add that bam to your profile. That's what I'll be doing. We got a crazy message there.
I think we need to be sure 100% that we are on the right page. So this you can make this with a normal picture, a picture of you, I don't know, at the seaside, whatever. But for me, it's more that I want to be sure that I am on the right software engineer page. Since we will have more and more software engineers, we will have more engineers with the same name, probably.
Yeah, I do like the casual picture. I think on my site, I just have one of myself, but then earlier I had like me and my wife or something like that sitting on the beach. It's like just kind of like a little, it's more casual. It's more of a personality thing. It's not my LinkedIn profile where I want something professional. This is just who I am. So it's kind of a chance for them to get to know you outside of your professional environment. So this one right here, this is from Rita. And I threw this one in here because I wanted some variety as far as the type of portfolio sites. I see a couple flaws in it right away, but I do like the visual appeal of the type of site. You know, it looks a lot like mine, so that's what caught my attention. So there's a little bit of bias here. But what do you think about these? I mean, it's just like kind of reminds me of Lee Rob's website, where it's kind of a minimalist right here. It's just up and down. I know Lee Rob has a little bit more styling to it, but it looks like they're kind of going for that look right here, where you have like an 800 pixel width and then just information about you with blogs. Oh, I see a text tag too. What's your thoughts on these and I guess the use of emojis and so on?
Yeah, so my initial thoughts, number one, is I like a lot of this site, right? I think it also goes to show that you can have a decent site without having to pour a ton of like into design, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing that I'd say here is I really like the cursor that falls around the mouse. I think that's pretty cool. Like that's not a super simple thing to do. So it kind of showcases like a little flair.
Skill,
yeah, it's a little touch. The one thing that I'll say is I feel like even though it's minimalist, it's so much text that feels almost on top of each other that I would appreciate a little bit more spacing. But the other thing is I feel like right about after the about myself, it leads directly into blog posts. I would rather have something that showcases a little bit more about them before you start trying to redirect me to like large spans of text that may not tell me something about yourself. Like it's great to have your blog post there, but this is also what I said, like it's important to think about like the flow of information, because now what if I get redirected to a blog post that I may or may not like before even finding out more about your work experience, your projects. And this is someone that has a decent amount of experience, it sounds like. I would rather have the opportunity to explore more about you versus being redirected. So I think that's a big one here, that redirection happens way too early into the profile without capturing attention. And I would rather capture that attention first.
Yeah, I definitely think if you're going to do the about section, it's nice to have a section to learn more about you. But at that point, I already have to be captivated. So either at the bottom or on another page where I can spend some time looking into it. Yeah, right? I definitely like the approach here.
Yeah, so do I. I think this is pretty clean. I really like the icons on the left side of the screen as well. I think that like because as you scroll, it stays there, right? Can you? Yeah. See, so it's sticky there.
Yeah, it's fixed.
So you can kind of redirect them. Now, obviously, if your objective is to kind of get a job, maybe not having it like Instagram, etc., but like LinkedIn. But you can change that as whatever your needs are for that moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Let me pull up another one.
Yeah. I also like the overall style. It's very simple. I like the mail on the right. It's a good call to action. I'd say, okay,
Oh, I didn't
so
even
I
see
can
that.
contact him. It's I think it's good. It's a good one. It's a very good one. A good place to put an email. There's a lot of text, but it's style. It gives me like the impression of a serious person who can work well. So at least this is the impression. Love the things on the left. I don't honestly. I'm not a huge fan of these things following my cursor. So here we have here you see there is something very personal. So this is like it depends on the taste of the people for that. And also I don't like too much the pointer because it's similar. It's similar. It's still an arrow. When you
You're
go
right. If you
out.
put that kind of effort into this follow in it, maybe have that
Sure.
be like a finger or something, like a pointer.
Yeah,
something
try to go on one of the links. See the cursor changes, but it's almost the same.
Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying.
I don't
Okay.
see the.
Cool.
That's it. But a good one. Yeah.
So we have note of that, and then the next one here is going to be Hussein, I believe. Yeah, this is Hussein. At least that's what it is in the Excel sheet. So we have a light and dark mode. This is pretty common nowadays. I definitely think it's nice to be able to adjust. It looks like it's reading my system preferences, which I have on dark mode. So we have that set up here. We got an introduction, share links. Oh, hold on a second. This is how do I share links? And it almost looks like they're advertising a product. I didn't even pay attention to the writing. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it's just there first. So they made it more like a business site. Okay. So
Yeah,
this is definitely, that's funny. Either I grabbed a wrong link and pasted that in, or yeah. Should we just let's see. Let's maybe try clicking on my let's at least go to my profile. Okay, so it's completely some kind of account where it looks like a link tree type of thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very good basic site. I think there's even for a business part, it's I wonder if this was like a share link, simple and free. I think this is almost like a tiny URL, and maybe they meant to give you the entire link.
That might be the case. Yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I guess we're gonna have to.
I see also this also see that this is not secure, so I don't know if they use some domain stuff, and I don't know if we want to just disqualify or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just we just won't consider it if it's not an actual portfolio site. It wouldn't be fair to everyone else. Okay, so we have another one here. This is Benya, I believe. Let's look at this. So another dark mode site. Try to zoom in, make sure everyone can see it. So we have the introduction section right here. I feel like maybe some of this can be moved to the header. I feel like there's a little bit of the spacing's a little bit off right here, especially with this being below, this section. It almost should be centered a little bit up north right here. Project contributions, years of experience. What do you think about that, Danny? Just posting your years of experience outside of a resume.
I mean, can't hurt, right? If you've got the experience, might as well kind of throw it up there. Personally, I don't like having that, and I'll tell you why. You might have one of those recruiters that are like, I'm looking for 4 years. If they see the 2 before they see the rest, maybe they turn away. I'd rather showcase all my other contributions before that enters the conversation, because like even my very first job in tech, they wanted 4 years of experience and a degree. I didn't have either, but I was able to win them over with the projects that I made, the way that I was able to talk about things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I do like the fact that they have, like, for example, 148 projects contributed. So I think that is pretty, strong as well. So I'm not going to check out. I like that. Oh, okay. I don't know if they want to show this on stream, but if you view the CV, it pops out, like it has the personal information there, like phone number and stuff. So maybe not open that on the screen. But if you open that, for example, it has like its own embedded browser in the site to showcase that. That's actually pretty cool.
Okay. I guess, I probably won't open it during stream.
Yeah, only because the whole world will get his phone number.
Yeah.
But
I think this caught my attention as far as like the visual appeal. Yeah. I mean, I did like this. I mean, I think that's a pretty creative. But that's not one image. They actually.
Yeah, but the only problem with this, because I was about to point this out, I have this open on a smaller screen. So if you go ahead and inspect that and change it,
Yeah.
If you reduce the size, it's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
The logo's almost
Cover him
blocked his
completely.
face, but I thought it was on
Oh, I
purpose,
see.
like to just show the eyes. Instead, it was not.
No.
And yes, and I would like to say something like at the top right there is this. Oh no, sorry, Danny. I don't know if you were
Top
going.
right.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So there is this email button, which is like it's a link to mail too. But of course, if you don't have, for example, I don't have any software to read mail, it just crashes. So I'll just put a plain text because otherwise, I don't know. Many recruiters don't go and watch what the mail to the link URL when you over. They just think that the mail is broken.
Yeah, that or just put a contact page, a link there, and then the email itself, contact link, and then go to a page where it just lists it.
Also, there is not a file icon. Okay, not bad. I really like the effect of popping things, and I like the color. The color is very consistent, and yes, that's it. And also at the bottom, something that I didn't like is that if you go on the bottom and you click start saying hi, it pops. It's like on the completely right, so it's a bit far. I don't know if it's on purpose or not.
There's some contrast issues with it. I can see that. I mean, I can see the form, but maybe separate that a little bit. And honestly, I mean, why not just send people directly here?
Yeah. Yes. So, and this is basically, I don't know, the most important call to action, like putting the email. So it's critical, we can say.
Okay. All right. Let's bring up the next one here. So we have
also the just last thing. Also the email on the email icon on the previous one, it redirects to a 404.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that. Okay, so we have Gavin here. Let's see. So we have the introduction. This is pretty. I've seen this in a lot of templates. I'm not sure how I feel about. I mean, I don't have anything against these kind of pictures, but I feel like sometimes it could be a little bit cliche. But I feel like he played it pretty well here. I mean, there's even like the texture behind. I can't tell if that's one image or not. I'm trying to zoom in.
That's okay. Two images.
Yeah, it's 2 images here. But I think it's very clean right here. I like the attention to detail. Even something like this right here, this little curve section goes straight to the projects. I do like the idea of having thumbnails for your projects. That way I don't have to. I can see what I'm going to click on before I have to go to another link and read about it. I just get to get right into it, start taking a look. Feedback from clients, I think that's awesome. Definitely nice to maybe link up to the actual person so they can verify certain things. But I thought this one was pretty clean and simple.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a couple things about this. Number one, I am a big fan of this. I think the call to actions, for example, really strong, especially when it comes to, for example, get in touch with me. So now you can capture the attention, which redirects to the contact page. I think also their portfolio site may act as a dual item here, for example, where they have like clients coming from other websites, because it looks like they do graphic designing for merchandises and websites and things like that. So maybe they can possibly use this on Fiverr as well. So it's dual purpose, I think. I kind of like a lot about this. I like the color scheme. I think the color scheme works really well. I like the fact that it can go light mode or dark mode, and it works well with both. So the design was definitely very well thought out. I also kind of like, if you look at the indentation around the down arrow, I think that's pretty cool. And I was wondering the responsiveness of that. Let me check this out. So I see he's got some errors too. Okay, that's fun. If you go through inspect element and go to the console, there's some messages like, "Oh my, what are you doing here?" So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's fun.
So I like that touch. Definitely thought through that one. I think this is a pretty good one.
Cool, nice. Take note of that.
Yeah, I really like the touch of this website. I also like, I don't know if you see at the very bottom, it's like the website is made with love. Very, 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 very bottom. Love, a keyboard. A keyboard.
With a keyboard.
So this is nice. The get in touch is also very good. I like that he said like, hear from my clients. I don't know which are your thoughts on this, Danny, but I don't know. I like the idea. can say. And yes, it's a good one for me.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I like it, especially anytime you have recommendations and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But the cooler thing about this one is it's not just like reviews from people that you know. These are reviews from people that have paid you to do something. So I think that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Take note of that. This one, like I said, I don't know if this is a template or not. The way that it kind of helps me judge, there's certain things I guess I can see right away that maybe aren't the best for maybe being a professional site. As Danny mentioned earlier, if you put things that are too fancy, but I just automatically liked it. Almost looks a little bit like the brutalism look. I believe that's what it's called. Looks like a newspaper almost. I just thought it looked visually appealing. So I wanted to throw this one in and get some feedback on it. And it looks like we do have changes, but I'm gonna leave it at white mode because we keep sticking to dark mode for most of those. So just review it in any way we want to see it. So got the introduction, lifelong learner, building websites, view my work. So we got links to social accounts right here. Pretty short bio. I like that. It's not too much here.
If you go back up to the top, there's something really cool that I just noticed. If you kind of run your mouse over that item, the flat illustration.
Oh, the eyes follow it.
Yeah, and I guess, is it the technologies just randomly come up, or is it because my mouse runs over it? It just randomly comes up. Okay, I thought it was because my mouse that it was coming over, but regardless, I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Showcasing some skill there.
Yeah, for sure. I like the About Me section as well. I think this is pretty basic, but it looks like everything is kind of well spaced out. I also like the down arrows kind of like as a move me item. But the only thing that I don't like about it is I thought if I clicked on it, it would send me to the next section. That didn't happen. So if you're going to utilize them, have a purpose there. I think the photo that he has is very professional. I think it looks fantastic and kind of gives a great appeal. I like. What's funny is I'm usually not a fan of the black and white because I feel like it's very basic. But he's done it in a way that it looks actually pretty decent.
It reminds me of a newspaper. I think that's the look. I think that's why we're just so used to seeing that. Where I don't think it's a pure white even with this. It's like an eggshell, but it's almost like sort of like a wolf gray, like a hint of it.
Yeah, I really like this a lot.
Yeah, it's just visually appealing. This one definitely stood out to me when I saw it.
To be honest, I think this is a great example, kind of like one earlier, where you don't need a ton of stuff going on to make a really impressive site. Like this stands out, and especially think about this example, because it's not just cool from a developer aspect, but from a hiring manager aspect. That's like one of the biggest things, because who do we want on here? Recruiters, hiring managers, HR people, things like that. And something like this, flow of information is fantastic. The kind of aesthetic is very simple. These are like business-focused sites that I think will really seal the deal in a good way.
Yeah. Francesco, what do you think about the style?
I generally like it. It's not a problem that it's super simple. And yes, the only thing, I don't know if I would have put the real profile picture instead of this one, but I don't know. I like this, and I don't like the black dot following me. It seems also a bit buggy on me. If I move fast, it seems bugged. So, like in the previous one, it was working well. So if you want to show something fancy, it has to work. Otherwise, you have the opposite result.
Yeah, he's talking about like the thing following your cursor, the white dot, or it's black on white mode.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if you move fast, it becomes very buggy. Like if you're scrolling down. See, it's not.
It separates. It doesn't follow fast enough. Yeah, and I noticed in white mode, in dark mode, the icons aren't transparent. If you look at this, so right here.
Oh,
I'm sure they can definitely touch that up, but make sure these are transparent and even adjust to that mode. Maybe use some SVGs there.
Yeah, and also something that hurted my developer heart is that he put Git instead of GitHub, so it's a bit it's a stab in my heart, but it's okay. Maybe a recruiter will not notice this, but
yeah, we won't worry about the recruiter aspect of it. Okay, so let's see, got the next one here. I always have to try to remember what stood out. Like I pull it up and I feel like I'm looking at it for the first time, just as you guys are. Just because I'm like, okay, look through so many. Let's see this. I always like any portfolio that tells me a snippet about the person and then goes straight into projects. Like that's where my visual hierarchy goes.
So I am a big fan of the side navigation that they have here. I'm a very big fan of the profile photo. I think that is like the definition of professionalism. So I think they did a great job there. I love the CTA. So far, I'm a big fan of this site right now.
Yeah, definitely like that too. All right, let's pull up this. So this was Jose, right? Yeah, Jose.
Joseph.
Yes, this one is really good.
Oh, yeah, Joseph. Okay, I thought I saw Jose.
Really,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Yeah, this is a rock solid site. Joseph did his thing on this one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to step away for about 1 minute,
it.
guys. If you can carry on, I'm going to scroll up and down.
Yeah.
I'm going to get your feedback. Sorry, I do have to step out for a second.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So I'll kind of go over some things. Are we on the Naveed's now?
Yeah, we have Naveed.
Yeah, go for it. All right, Francisco, you want to start or should I?
1 second. You go, Danny. I'm
Okay.
getting the notes.
So, number one with Naveed's site, I'm going to refresh it again to see, but the site load was very, very, very slow. Oh, it's a Netlify app, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe it wasn't awake. Let me try and refresh it again, because when I'm scrolling in, it's taking a very long period of time to kind of like log in here. And so due to the lazy load of a lot of these images on the site, I wonder, can I share my screen?
And also, I think that some recruiters, maybe they are on their phone. So now I am at home with a good connection, but I think if they are not in the best one, like after 4 seconds, they become super.
Yeah, so I definitely like the flat animations. I think that's pretty cool, but I think you're missing the mark with the lazy load being so slow. And I don't think most people are going to give you the opportunity for it not to seem like this was super glitchy. So that may be something that I think about. So if you really want to have that, you may need to host it on something that's going to be awake all the time instead of completely asleep. I do think that, I'll be completely honest, I would be shocked. Let me check this thing out here.
Then can you check the icons on the left, because they are super slow. If you hover on the LinkedIn, Instagram. Keep the mouse on them. They become like after 4 seconds. So
everything is moving super slow. I'm wondering one thing here. Did they make this, or is this a template?
Yeah, if anyone in the chat knows or has seen this template, let us know. We'll consider all of them, but if it's a template, it just won't be entered in the best portfolio drawing.
I'm looking.
I like the sidebar, but I don't like that it doesn't stick with me. Oh, I see what they did. They added it to every section. It almost looks like they built it in components. That I definitely don't like. That should be fixed, I think.
There's comments. I do think it's a template. It is a template.
If they can send me a link to the original, I'll just try to take a look at it and see. JavaScript master made a video like that. Okay, I'll double check it. For now, I'll do some research, maybe exclude that.
Yeah, because I don't see any. I'm looking through the source code. I don't see anything saying that it's a template of XYZ. But if there is, because it's giving me template-ish vibes, especially with how much of a delay there is. So I would think that they would have thought that one through, but
yeah. Well, I told people that it's okay to use a template. I personally feel like it's fine, unless you're a designer, you're trying to completely customize it. It's okay to use that. We just won't include it in the final thing because you didn't come up with the original look. So we won't dock them from that. It's just they won't be included in that. Okay, so I'll just put a flag on that to not include it then in that final. Let's highlight that as red in that Excel sheet. Okay, let's. In that case, credit goes to JavaScript Mastery for coming up with that. I think they're right though. I think I've seen that too. It looks familiar to me.
I think I found the video too. So looks like it's one from February 8th. Yeah.
Was it the one where he does stunning portfolios, right?
Build and deploy a full stack responsive portfolio website, ultimate step-by-step tutorial. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. He may have added a little bit more or like made this his own, but yeah, it's pretty much off of this.
Yeah. So this is the tutorial right here. Let's see. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll just we'll exclude it for now. I'm sure he probably shows the full introduction here, but
I would say even if it like, and let me just say this: there's nothing wrong with using a portfolio site from a tutorial, something like that. Just make it your own, and add things here and there. But the other thing too is like that's why we make these tutorials, right? For you to kind of get an idea on how you can elevate it. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have, let's see, what's the name here? I don't see the name for this next one. Oh, Yusuf. Okay, so I also feel like this one could be a template, but I wanted to add it. There's a lot that I like about it, but it also looks very familiar to me.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to say here, I think there should be a difference between a template, meaning like something that you just stole off the internet, or something that you've done yourself. I think if they're following a tutorial, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
Yeah, as long as there's customization, I would say, I guess. Yeah.
And I think they did that. So let me check out this one. I kind of dig some of this here.
For Yusuf's?
Yeah. There's a lot of animations happening.
Yeah, I don't know if you found. I think I found an Easter egg. If you try to hover to about me, go on the about me.
Mm-hmm.
It goes away. Yeah. I don't know what is that.
I mean, yeah, that's funny. There's not much practical use. In fact, I
don't know.
At least give me a chance to reset it, maybe. No.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it should have like auto reset.
Yeah.
There should be like a reset button somewhere.
Imagine being a hiring manager that wants to know about the candidate, but you accidentally put your mouse on the screen and you're like, I don't know nothing now.
Well, the funny thing is as you're scrolling, you might scroll right here.
I think there was
misspells. Yeah.
I think there was a virus in the 90s that does exactly this on the screen, but like
I think it's a cool effect. I would not recommend that though, because like I said, if I'm scrolling up and down, my mouse crosses it, and I'll get rid of a few words. And I'm gonna think you have spelling errors. I might not even notice that happened, and now I think I see regarding.
No, I want to know if something happens if I clear anything. No.
Yeah.
No. So a couple things I'll say here. I like the experience section for the most part. It gives a timeline of the previous jobs, going from project management to IT support, web developer. I don't know how you're IT support and web developer, also within the same company, and then being a freelancer. These are things that and there isn't necessarily a way to get like a further explanation. I would have a link here that could kind of link to, for example, like you have the CV in your About Me. I'd probably have that same kind of CTA here, just so I can kind of get that clarification. I think that's a big deal. The other thing that I would say here, I like a lot of the animations. I think that's really cool. It's not necessary in some places, and I think this is sometimes also where I say the difference between what's cool to a developer versus what's cool to like someone that you're trying to get to hire you. I do think if you're going to have this text disappearing thing with the About Me, have it come back after a couple brief seconds or even a second or two, so that way they can still get the information that's necessary. Because I'll tell you, like me, by habit, I scroll down with my mouse being where I read, right? Like sometimes I use my mouse as something to help me read. I don't think that's like the best experience item. So I would be focused on that if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, good observations.
For example, I didn't notice that there were like the purple arrows. Scroll a bit down on different projects. Go a bit down, down.
Okay, the projects itself.
Here. I thought it was just one. So there are sometimes there are like some semi-transparent ones. Like you still see one focus, but you still see something on the right and on the left. I like the thing that it's consistent with the color, and I can barely see the. Yeah, you can see in dark mode you can barely see the dots here. I see the purple one. No, below. I see the purple dot, but I don't see. There was
there's ways to add some contrast to that. There's definitely the green, the blue links. I'm sure that's a mistake right there, but it looks like all their links on the site are in this.
But the generic
blue.
vibe is good.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
yeah, that blue. Oh, it's okay. Then he disappeared, so now it's up to me. I'm sorry. Sorry, all of you. Now I'll be the.
Now you're at Francesco's mercy.
It's my moment.
All right, so here we have
Sorry,
Sasha, and it almost looks like they took that JavaScript mastery vibe from that template or the site that they made.
Can be. So okay.
Danny's back.
Yeah.
There is
I try to close the portfolio side and close the screen. All right.
Okay, so we're listening. I'm not sure what the images have to do with the with the skill right here. You have mobile app development, backend development. It just looks nice. It's visually appealing, but it's not exactly getting the message across.
Yeah, I was confused on that. So actually what's funny is, so I think what's cool was lost in translation here, because my first instinct was, oh, these are clickable things that I should be clicking on. So for like mobile app development, backend development, etc. I would probably rework that section only because that was my first instinct. I didn't understand why the animation existed with the text. I get you're trying to go for something really cool and unique here, but that I think this may be lost here, to be completely honest. I do like the site overall. I think a lot of it is looking really nice. I've got it open on, and it's very responsive because I'm changing screen sizes to check it out.
Yeah, with those animations, it's funny because sometimes you'll code that up and you're excited about that feature, but it's only gonna hurt it. It kind of reminds me of the the text floating off the screen. It's like you want to show it off, but yeah, it's going to be a dead click. I automatically think I need to click on that too.
Yes, also my overall impression is good. One thing that I noticed is that on the skills and experience there is now 2022, and we are almost at the end of 2022. So I don't know, maybe it was just an example, but this is supposed to be like what is your portfolio now. So
yeah, or do just hyphen present. So like let's say in 2019 he was a copywriter, or she. Oh, it's a Sasha. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's she. 2019 copywriter, 2020, and then 2021 to present. Yeah, then testimonials.
And there is no footer at all. I don't know. You can put something there. At least I don't know the copyright something. Like there is literally no footer at all. But overall, it gives me a good sensation. Honestly, I prefer dark mode, so I feel a bit left off. But it's okay. Like if there is only dark mode, I don't complain. But I mean, this is not the.
So this one looks a lot like Sasha's right here, the same color scheme. Let's see. This is. How do you say this, Francesco? Maybe you can. Help me pronounce this one. I know you were my name.
Needy Sharma.
Needy. Okay.
Is that a high, a hey, or
yeah, this is what Francesco mentioned earlier.
On purpose. On purpose. I'll never know.
I can see it being like a slang type of like a casual high.
Okay.
When you scroll, it's a little bit slow, so I have to grab this right here. But automatically skills. I do like this. Francesco and I were looking at this one before the stream. Maybe not the best place to put it, but I do like seeing your thought process, like the fact that they actually posted like the raw, hand-drawn design of their site. It definitely helps me see how someone thinks. I think that's just unique.
I like the idea. Maybe it could have been done, I don't know, with higher contrast, with a better picture, but no, I like overall the overall idea. Cool. Gives a good contrast.
So let's do this. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do is go a little bit faster. Let's make comments. I won't wait on those. If you have something to say, let's do it. Otherwise, we'll scroll up and down. I'll just say a few initial things so everyone can see it. And then Francesco, Danny, obviously you all been taking notes throughout the stream here. Just whatever starts catching your eye. So purple's a little bit strong of this one. I threw this one in just because I kind of like the fact that it almost looks like a pricing. It reminds me of a pricing table here for a product, but it's kind of cool that they're able to, allocate things to their student life, their backend developer, as a Python programmer. They're specifying exactly what they worked on in those sections. So that's
Can I ask one thing here? What's the top icon at the very top of the page? Where does that take them?
It looks like it's just their logo, right? So if
it's
I go
Meetup
logo.
Meetup logo.
It's meetup.com's logo.
Okay.
Oh, is that?
Maybe he's the CEO of Meetup.
Yeah, no, but that's cool. That was the first thing I saw right away. I was like, why did they have that there? That may need to change because my first thing was, oh, maybe they have a community that they lead and that's a link to it, but that's not the case.
Gotcha. Okay. So that is, what was the name here? Manish, and then we have Eki. I think that's the name. I always love the dark mode. My eyes it's always pleasant on the eyes. Also very very narrow look right here, just up and down. I guess there are some horizontal layouts here for the services. Looks like these are Freelancer. Client feedback. I like that. It's always, what do you think about that, Danny? I'm assuming if you add client reviews, it'd be maybe nice to link to that person or make that more authentic because anybody can, throw in 5-star reviews and make them up all day.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would do here is maybe have a link to the review so that way they can see that it's real. What's funny
Upwork
is
client, so the link to Upwork.
So I'll even tell you this is for everybody because I've seen this happen a couple times already. So at my last company, one thing that we noticed was we have a whole page that's dedicated to customer reviews. What we found out through some user testing and user experience, they did a huge test, like testing thousands of people on this one. A lot of people don't have a lot of faith in the random review thrown on a page. So what they've shifted to instead was actual links to those reviews. So that way people could see that it's real. That showed a huge uptick in conversion rates. So that may be something that you want to do when it comes to a review. Instead of just throwing that review, having a link to it. Because then even me, my first instinct is 5-star review. Yeah, they just threw it up there. Having a link to it, I think, will go the wrong way.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of somebody putting on like hard worker on their resume. Like, how do I know that? What's okay? That's your assessment of it, so I don't really trust it. You can say anything you want about yourself. Okay, so then we have Joy. Sorry, Francesco, go ahead.
No, just say that the initial vibe, it was good, but then, for example, the top links they were not working, and I was expecting something more clickable. I like the tools and skills part.
Mm-hmm. I do like the font for this one. I don't know why it's like that typewriter vibe. Maybe it's just me. Mm-hmm. I know my wife doesn't really like it as much, but I always like it.
I like it.
So about, you got your projects right away. Cool. If I can source code, see live. What I'll do, a little CSS, not even a trick, just object fit cover. Make sure your image isn't distorted because I'm assuming the image is working fine. Yeah. So you can position it where you want, maybe work more on that thumbnail because that is an important part. Speaking as 3 people that work with YouTube, thumbnails are more important than the title in many cases. So make sure your thumbnail looks good. It's going to change the look of your site. Automatically, this makes the site look less professional. So you did good with everything else, but then you let an image ruin the look of your site right here. Yeah. So object fit, cover, and CSS, that should do it. And then maybe center it or crop the image.
And one thing I want to say too, like, I know we're being critical on these, but that's because it's a competition. But a lot of these portfolios are like great portfolios to kind of showcase to a hiring manager. So don't think like we're like, oh, every single portfolio we've seen is trash. No, that's not the case. Like, they're good, but competition-wise, obviously, we're holding a little bit of a strict standard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's, again, Danny, I saw you responded to some people in the comments. There's a lot that we couldn't include, and that sucks. It was painful for me to have to eliminate them. I had to make these decisions, and I picked the ones that, if it was really close, what had something more unique? Because if you write an article, let's say on, cool portfolios, if people see these generic, blank portfolios, they're going to think, okay, that's kind of a useless article. Like, you want to have something that stands out. Now, Francesco, this is your friend Yuri, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit biased here, so maybe I can call me out of this one. But no, to be honest, it looks good, but maybe we're missing the picture. And yes,
I like it. I mean, I love this hover effect. Maybe I'd add a transition effect there, but I think that's pretty cool. Almost looks like a shadow and it's multiple layers. Almost looks like a book, like expanding. So these are all projects, really straight to the point. I see your tech stack, contact, cool. Let's get in touch. That's it looks like the mail thing is broken.
Yeah,
we fixed that. And if you ever send me to another link, try make sure it opens me up in a new tab.
Yeah,
do target blank or do target and then underscore blank in your A tag. I hate it when it takes me to another site or somewhere else. I usually like to stay on the original site and then be able to go back. But yeah, I think it's really clean. That's good. See what happens when I click on a project.
It's very clean. A couple of things that maybe she can correct. The things that the front end is not clickable. I was sure that we could click and doing something there. And the open for remote opportunities, it has a typo. I don't know. It's a bit like on the one. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll say here, I think one problem I have with this, because I know Yuri as well. I think Yuri's phenomenal and awesome, cool, and all the good stuff. But as far as a portfolio site goes, I feel like this is really missing the mark. Because number one, obviously you have your entire life until you put this live to kind of fix things. So having typos in there, it kind of does stick out. I'm not going to penalize for that. But one thing that I'll say here is, instead of letting me know things that they've done or what they've been a part of or et cetera, it immediately goes with this very small paragraph and then immediately to the work and then let's talk. I feel like there's something that's missing here that can kind of paint a better picture that needs to kind of exist. I feel like this is a very, very like beginner level portfolio set that could be expanded upon. And I think there needs to be a lot more expansion for this to really convert people over, because right now you only have two sections, work or contact. And I feel like there needs to be more meat here to kind of get somebody in there. And then when you look at the projects in particular, there's no real information given besides the redirection to that project. So I think that needs to be expanded upon as well.
Yeah. So it looks like it explains like the stack and how it was made, but not the details behind it.
Yeah, I think that also, even if Yuri is a friend, she's missing the personal touch, because maybe, she doesn't want to put the surname or whatever. Okay, so but you need to. I know Yuri, but I recognize that this because in the URL is Yuri Codes Both, and I know her Twitter handle, but a recruiter, they don't know this. They say, okay, which Yuri? Not even sure who she is. And in the link tree, there is her profile picture. So at this point, there is no point in hiding that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So that's Yuri, and then we have the Chateau, I believe is the name. Let's see. Got a cool background. A lot of colors. I'm not sure how I feel about that right now, but I'm trying to think what stood out here. It's a little bit different. I don't like the generic pictures that much. Like this right here, I'm not the biggest fan of. I do like the layout though. So all the projects, personal. Oh, it's kind of interesting. Projects done by me, and then you can actually select the site itself.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's your skills bar, Danny.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
You're telling me you don't want that adult dating in the chat?
Man, as compelling as that is.
I accidentally pinned one of those. I had one in the comment after I posted a video, and I went to remove it, and I pinned it, and I left it up there for a little bit. This is really promoting some odd stuff.
Yeah, I will say there's a lot that I do like about this. I like the scroll bar, the nav bar at the top. I think that looks
Be careful,
great. I'm not gonna say whether I like or dislike the colors on the side. I think it's an aesthetic that they're going for, and I think that's kind of cool. I like that the floating icons on top of the profile photo, they kind of hover back and forth. I'm scrolling down here. I'm not a fan of the stock images. I don't think you need that. So I'd kind of change that. I do like the project area section of yourself. Now here's the thing. The only problem that I have with this is it doesn't tell me anything. Even when I'm looking at the images of your projects, I don't know what they are, right? So I like that when I hover over it, it kind of gives me something. But for example, like Dennis just kind of clicked on that. It was a broken thing. Now, I don't know what's happening there. But now the view sites, etc., that's cool. But I would want to have more information. I hate the project sliding bar 85% Photoshop. So that means if I give you a test on Photoshop and you get less than 85%, I should totally discredit you. I don't think you need that. Also, and the other thing too,
I would definitely fix that link, by the way, too. It looks like the site's hacked or something because I click on it and there was some.
But the other thing that I'll say here that I think is weird is that, for example, in the projects done by me, it almost looks like it's aligned to the left, and then I go for design for life. Everything is more left facing. I would rather, for example, if you scroll down, so that kind of looks more left, nothing on the right. Then you go down further. That's all to the left, nothing to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have it centered. So I feel like there's some centering issues here. But overall, this is a pretty rock solid site.
Yeah, I do like this section right here. I think that's pretty well done.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. So make sure I got the right one here. Okay. Okay, this one's just visually appealing. There's some not stock photos, but you got the icons here.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Here we go. So this is getting close to what Danny talked about, but maybe it's not that specific. Let's see. Develop highly. Okay, so this is what you do. So it's not actually you talk about what you've done.
Yeah, I almost got
application. Yeah, I thought they were saying something like developed XYZ, and then we're gonna explain it. You're close. It's right there, but I see your stack right here. That's cool. Experience working on multiple cloud infrastructure. So you're kind of giving me some details. Project management. So okay, right here, project management. Did you lead a team here? Is there anything that says I led a team of 4 or led mid-sized teams? That'd be kind of cool to see. Experience in initiating and managing projects and assigning tasks to team members. Okay, so something a little bit more descriptive there, but I definitely thought this fit the criteria of a unique design, unique, but something that stands out. Okay, let's jump to.
And hard to start numbering all these for a top 10.
All right, so we're pretty simple right here. We got the introduction, pretty cool design or little aesthetic features here. Looks like we got an S for the logo.
Does it take you back to the top if you press it? No.
No, it should though. Yeah. See, I think they did a really good job with this. Is what I was talking about with thumbnails. Like, if you have nothing else to come up with, the way you position that, the way it looks means a lot. Let me try to zoom in here a little bit. Like, that just looks satisfying. Just angling that. I know not everyone has Photoshop skills and being able to do that, but it's really important to make sure it looks decent. I see the theme. It looks like they're doing that for everything.
Yeah. One thing that I've actually been telling a lot of people too is kind of going back to the whole thing of people eat with their eyes. Even if you can like make it a GIF of the use of the page, I think that's a great way to kind of capture people as well. So if that's something that sticks out as a possibility, I would do that as well to kind of get conversions. But overall, I like this site. I think it's a pretty basic, simple portfolio site.
Cool. All right. So good note there. Here's another one, kind of has that same look where we're underlining things, doing some highlighting, kind of a lot of text here, I guess. There's a little bit too much for sure. I think in this section that could be changed up a little bit. We see the stack. We go
I like
projects. I like how they organize it by front end, full stack, and APIs that they've built.
One thing I want to say is on your wording, don't say things, for example, in one of your projects, you said, this is a simple thing here. Don't discount what you're doing. Or like, I think it was in the APIs and others. This is a simple game I made. If it's simple, don't put it. And you have a misspelling error. So like, don't do, or see example, second one, also a simple app. Don't do that. Highlight things. But please, one thing that I've noticed with all these projects that I'm seeing missing, and I was hoping I would see one do it right so far, but so far I haven't. Please tell me if it's solving a problem. What is the problem? Like that, y'all are not understanding one thing. Companies live for problem solvers. There's no shortage of people to write lines of code. The shortage in this industry is with problem solvers. Showcase that problem solving capability. That's what you need to be doing here. So it's cool if you have some simple projects here and there, but at least have one thing there that you're like, this solved the problem. This was the problem. This was the solution. That's going to be the project that gets you into a job.
Heck yeah. 100% right there. All right. So we got the
I like this one. I like this one.
They should have fixed that top part with
V.
I mean,
yeah. I was just gonna say that to the favicon. How do you say that? Is it
favicon?
Favicon. Okay. Yeah. Let's straight up right into the tech stack. I like that framework and libraries. You made that easy for me to separate your programming languages, what you're doing.
I like that.
Cool. I like this timeline. It's almost like a full digital resume. Education.
I like that animation there.
Projects. All right, let's see. What happens when I click on a project? Okay, so we're just linking to a GitHub repo. I personally am a fan of a page to that project. Like Danny said earlier, this is your chance to control how I'm viewing you. Yep. You're controlling the conversation here. So when I click on this, if I click on a link, maybe a demo or even the GitHub repo, this right here may not say everything. In fact, you don't have a good README here as far as like maybe an image. So take me to a page maybe where you have a chance to warm me up to that GitHub repo, and I might not even need to look at that repo. I might be impressed before I even get there. So I definitely recommend a single page for it.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there is something that I really liked. The open source contributions. It's a great one. It's a great one.
I wonder if that's automated. If that's
I think it's
GitHub
automated.
has an API, yeah. So you can so whenever you're making these, they just get added here as opposed to manually.
It's very good idea.
Yeah,
this is really cool.
I like this right here, the extracurricular stuff. To get to know a little bit more about you. I mean, you're mentoring people, mentored 150 plus students. Okay, this right here, Danny, they're hired. Mentored 150 plus students along with web development, Ruby on Rails bootcamp. Like so direct. One inter-college challenge solo dance competition. I mean, not exactly web developer related, but hey, it's what you're doing. As you said, it's extracurricular. Qualified for nationals and Indian hip hop championship. Okay,
that's cool.
That's
here
I love
is
it.
Also, here is also talking about what you said before. Then it's like official website with 15K plus visitors. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is
actually true, but
one of my favorites.
Definitely good. And then as far as like the first impression for us too, I mean, this person hit. I mean, honestly, even if this was a template, I'd still consider this one because they filled it out very well.
I like this one a lot. If I'm being completely honest. And I love the CTA where it is. It was an interesting spot for that CTA to be there.
This one right here, Let's Connect. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is interesting.
It stuck out to me right away. Yeah, and look at that
profile.
I like that.
Yeah, cool.
Matter of fact, I'm actually about to hit that connection button on him. I like it. That's how much I like this portfolio site. I'm going to go ahead and connect with him. There you go.
All right, so we have another one. So it looks like this one reads my system preferences. So it goes from white to dark. There's a little bit of delay. Not really an issue there, but I like the colors here. This changing. I mean, it's maybe that this is a personal opinion. I just like the fact that feature is there. I think that's enough to flex a little bit on what you can do. I don't know if that's a plugin or whatnot, but pretty short bio. I even like the emojis in this process.
I really dislike the photo.
The photo? Because is it the filter on it?
I think the filter one, but it's like this is supposed to be your professional site, right? So like you got the earbuds in, you've got it kind of like an open shirt thing. There's so many ways that you could be doing this to really stand out. I feel like this is almost diminishing that a little bit.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely change that. You're right.
And I mean, this is not a picture. I don't think this person goes with this T-shirt every day. Maybe they do, but like I think, it's a personal touch, but I don't know. Maybe we are missing a smile there. It would have changed the picture. I don't know.
I'm kind of weary on the whole expert thing. Like they've said several times now in that top section, experienced and expert. Now, if you scroll down a little bit more, expert, and you only got 2 years of experience. Come on, man. I've been in here like 3 times your experience level, and I still am not a expert. So I think that's kind of crazy. But I also am not a fan of someone having emojis. I
like it.
Really? I really dislike it because it's
if used correctly.
Overdone.
Yeah, if used correctly, I think it's a little bit much here. I mean, on my side, I definitely rip out my headphones. I definitely use that somewhere here. Yeah, I got like the calendar emoji.
But the way he
use. Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go.
No, I said you're using it with a purpose. Like you have the calendar, you have writing. Like it serves a purpose outside of just being there. Versus I'm experienced and an expert. I got sunglasses.
Yeah,
a strong background. Right. Yeah, so that's the big like disconnect here.
I guess I see that. Yeah, you have a developing top-notch business-oriented web applications. What does a plane and a suitcase have to do with that? I think they just like the appeal of it and want to fill it up with it. Yeah. But if you're gonna do it, make sure it has a purpose. Download resume. That's right in the middle there.
Yeah.
Projects.
Yeah. Oh, I like. Hold on. Does the filter show anything for mobile? Oh.
I feel like it's because they don't have any mobile apps. So.
But then why have it?
Yeah, definitely change that.
Because look, the only thing they have is website. Every other character, mobile app, graphic, UI, digital arts, none of them have. This must be Is this a template that they are
It's a
utilizing?
template that I didn't use. And also, it's a bit strange that like you start with a very, let's say, super personal picture with an open shirt, and then you end up with stock images,
Yeah.
services, which kind of like the contrast here is
Yeah, it's very strange.
huge. Like if you want to give a personal touch, you should give a personal touch. So yeah, it gives me template vibes. Maybe it's not, but
All right.
it's just.
I think we got the feedback we needed on that one. Let's go to the next one here. Okay, so this one was a little bit different. Again, it's the background. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I felt like it was something that we can put in front of the professionals and get your feedback here. But let's see how this navigates.
Hey, 1 second. Graham donated 20 pounds.
Oh wow, that's like wow. Thank you, Graham. We really appreciate that.
You gotta get the calculation conversions out for that one.
That should buy Francesco and Danny and myself a beer.
There you go. I like that.
So
everything is recorded, Dennis.
So again, it was a little bit different. This is why I wanted to throw this one in the mix. I see a flaw in it right away, but I still want to throw it in because it's something maybe we can help this person improve on.
Mm-hmm.
When you click here, you don't have the navigation sticking with you. That's you want to go back button, go home. Yeah, I just fixed that. It looks like this person is fairly new, maybe not. Let's see. As far as a front-end web developer, web development trainee, intern. Okay, yeah. So it looks like they're a little bit newer. Skills. The theme isn't consistent throughout the site. Again, I picked it on the homepage.
Yeah. So number one, I think this might be like a whole beginner aspect. I wouldn't be advertising that I'm a UI UX person. I don't know if they have or not. But one thing that I would say here is just keep the background the same. Now I'm not totally against your landing area, but I don't think the rest of the page has to have a similar background, but just have a uniform style with everything. And I think that would go a long, long way.
Yeah. Well, it's good to get your feedback on that though too. That's again the reason why I wanted to throw that one in the mix. Okay, I think we have what we need there. That was Ayusha. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Ayusha. Okay, so all right, we have about 4 more to go through.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna see what Danny's and Francesco's opinions are. So this one looks a lot like that newspaper look, brutalism look, sort of. It's not exactly brutalism, but I don't think it would be qualified as that.
Wow, I like the satellite though.
Yeah, it's satisfying. I think it stands out. I know Francesco probably wants a picture of the person.
No. Yeah, something that I can recognize you, but I think this is already something.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I'll be honest, I really dig the fact of that. What is that? The flat illustration. I think that's super cool. Like, because it's probably a picture of them or resembles them in some way, and so it's like just them with their coffee. I kind of dig that one a lot, actually.
Yeah, especially if it's, you're right, if it's them, I think that's even cooler.
Yeah, and I think the design here has been actually really focused. If you scroll down a little bit, like the box is getting smaller. I kind of like that a lot, and I like the color coding in this latest work. This is definitely intentional, and I think it's very, very, very pristine.
Yeah, this is pay attention to your thumbnails. If you look here, we have purple in this one right here. They made the background purple. This has green. They have it, green right here. That's really cool. Definitely get it. Changes the entire look.
So I'm a big fan of this one.
Cool. And okay, so there's still not a picture for this person. I was trying to see if it resembled them in any way. Okay. All right. So this is let's see, which one was this? Sujoy. It's the next one, number 25 in that row. Thought it was a little bit different right here. We got the download CV, no more. I think I already know what Danny's going to think here. I think you're probably not selling the person enough. You're almost saying you want to know more when you haven't told me that much yet, other than the fact that you're a full stack developer in your name. But let's see, about me. It just looks nice.
I like the skill section. Wait.
So do I have to click on it? Oh, it's not controlled. So the timing isn't good. It looks like it goes on its own.
That was weird.
Yeah, let's try refreshing that.
Yeah,
because it was out, then it came all the way back in, and then
And
Yeah,
this
it feels
is
uncontrollable.
this is exactly what I was talking about in the very first portfolio. That it was like a cloud
Yeah.
of things, and here they are separate. It was,
I don't know how I feel about this, but I think it's cool. This menu, it's almost like
Yeah,
an app.
I
Like
like
you're
it.
controlling it from the
but
bottom.
wait.
I love the effort.
Wait, does it have no? They looked like percentages, the skills, but maybe they are not.
Yeah, they are on the skills. That was the first thing I noticed.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
No, but they are all. Oh no,
Danny
HTML,
spots it like
CSS.
Well,
Dennis, Danny.
It's funny how almost all the skills are at like the 70% mark.
Yeah, you got to fix that timing thing because I need to look at it.
Yeah.
It keeps running away from me.
Yeah, I think that's messed up. I like the design. I think there still needs to be some
Yeah.
finessing there. I will say if you go back up to the projects, I wanted to see that 1 second.
Let's see. Projects would be here. Yeah. No, that's
Oh no, the skills. Oh.
projects would be the suitcase, I'd imagine.
Okay.
No, yeah.
That's maybe if you have like a hover effect where as you hover above the button, it tells you what that item is, that will be very valuable. But all these icons look exactly the same, so I don't even know.
Yeah, there's
What's
nothing that
what?
separates it.
Yeah, it's missing the mark.
Definitely. Okay.
The
Definitely
design
thought it
is
looked
cool though; it
good.
just needs to be fixed.
Yeah. All right. So we have who's this? Arcroft.
Casablanca.
All right. So we have a pretty simple one here. I guess, Danny, I should have used the word simple, right?
But there's some. I like that about me having multiple sections and it changes there. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. Can you scroll down? Is there anything below this? Oh,
Oh, there is. Okay, so this takes you to other pages, but everything's also on the home page.
okay. But your featured projects are your only projects, so I would kind of change the way that looks. Perhaps.
Yeah, you're right.
It seems weird.
I like that. If you don't have a logo, I like the idea of just throwing your name up there and then making that the home button.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like they're actually refreshing the page when I click that. I mean, there's definitely ways to add some JavaScript there and make that different. I can change the language, right? Yeah. Okay.
'cause,
Cool.
You know, in Morocco they speak French.
This is the only one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Multiple languages.
Well, they also have Moroccan, but French is definitely one of the languages they start teaching early. I only know one phrase in Moroccan. "Khushi bi khair." That's the only thing I remember from.
What does that
my
mean?
Moroccan buddy. Like, how are you? But in their version instead of just basic Arabic.
Gotcha.
But cool site.
I don't like this right here.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Trying to think of why I saved this one.
Which one?
This is what was the name here? Sudanshu.
But this is like a company. We are a team of designers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll remove them from the competition then.
I do think it's weird that there's a team of designers there and everyone was like on board with the whole scrolling banner thing that we just saw. Like nobody said, "Hey, I'm not a fan of this." Oh, Ashraf is in the chat. What's going on, Ashraf? All right. So is this the final one?
Okay, so this is the last one. This is Mayur, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So got a pretty simple site. You can't scroll here.
Oh.
So you just go through. So it's a single page application. Go through the about. I mean, this is
very basic.
Intention. Yeah, maybe if you can add some. Yeah, maybe add some detail here in the work experience. I don't see anything here, but I see what you're going for. Technologies. Try to fix that logo. Projects. Okay, yeah. I think we have enough to get the feedback. So, all right, Danny and Francesco, I know you're already probably making your opinion as you're going through this, but I can look at your notes here. What is standing out to you? Let's start pulling some of those up. Maybe start forming a 1 through 10.
Yeah, I gotta redo my top 10 again because I kept going back and forth with the numbers on a couple of these. I do have my top like 5 pretty much figured out.
Okay.
I think I have my whole top 10 at this point. Give me 1 second to kind of finalize this real fast.
Yeah, also 1 second.
So remember, we'll select the top 10, but the top 5 will have a financial reward. And the reason why we're doing 10 is because just in case we confirm one of them is a complete template, I still want those people to be able to compete, but I don't want to. I want to make sure that anybody that gets financially rewarded for it and actually gets credit for that design is the original creator of it. It's okay to have used something and been inspired by it, but we definitely want to make sure there's some originality to it.
Sorry, Danny. There are the first 5. They are different. Like position 3 is different from the position 5, or not? Like 3, 4, and 5. I'm pretty sure of the first 2 for me, but the third, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting difficulty. Like, I've got 2 that I think are tied for second place as far as
I have a 10, 1, 9, and 3, 8. So I should check among those.
So let's do this. Let me throw in.
I have 1, 2, 4.
So let me throw in the actual Excel sheet. So Francesco,
okay.
We have number 1 for you. What did you select as number 1?
So no. That's the grade. So 10 is the best.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, it's easier because you have the 10, 9, and then you have 4, 8.
We'll fix the good to GO0D. All right. So at this point, I guess you and Danny will have to settle on these. Let's just kind of come to some conclusions. You have your notes. Just tell me what the final is, and we'll just go ahead and put that in this column, and we'll start arranging these.
Let me see. I think I've got it all numbered the way I want now. Let me see if I can sort this. And if I can sort it, then it will show me.
Okay.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm reversing that.
So I'll just remove the word final there. Actually, I'll just leave it up now that it's there.
Or we could say Danny final, and then I could just put the links in the order, I suppose.
I wouldn't.
We have separate lists. We discuss.
Okay.
Because how do we decide who is the second or third?
I think we'll have to hash it out.
There we go.
It has to be unanimous. All right,
I'm putting my top 10 in the order of the profiling.
Okay, I'll start opening these. So this is what Danny thinks is the best. I kind of had an idea of that. And a lot because of the actual descriptions. Okay. Francesco, do you concur on that one?
7.
Okay, then we have
I think I have
the second one.
I have a different one.
Okay. This one.
It's not in the. Let me double check if it's the right one.
All right, looks like we have a number 1, so we have our first winner. So as long as Danny and Francesco agree on that, cool. So we have. Let's see who.
Okay. It's the same. Okay.
Yeah. So as long as they're the same, as long as we can agree,
we know who's number 1.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't want to fight with Danny, by the way.
Okay, so that was. Let's see. Parth middle. Metal.
This one.
Cool. So we
have almost agree. And okay, let me check this one.
Okay, so it looks like we Joseph is probably going to end up being, unless you guys can rework this order. One of you guys can concede and rearrange that, because Joseph is also number 2 for Francesco, number 3 for Danny.
We can see after he gets his full 10 up. Let's see his full 10. I added one extra one as an honorable mention for number 11, but yeah.
All right. Okay, so far we only have one official winner, but it looks like Joseph will be one of the winners anyways. Okay.
I was definitely a fan of that site. And mind y'all, like I had trouble making this list. Like I kept going back and forth, up and down, rearranging.
Oh, yeah,
there's so many good ones.
Dennis, we need a platform for judges of hackathons. I really
Yeah.
need that. We really need. It's the second time that it's like super hard to.
Yeah, definitely. So while the judges are doing this, I'm gonna pull up Danny's YouTube channel. So we've already seen his Twitter, doesn't really need too much love, but let's look at his YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. He's putting out awesome videos.
I want Dennis. I want Danny Thompson with a silver button. I want him.
I'm working now on some new tutorials. That's one area that I plan to change this year. I haven't given a ton of focus on my YouTube channel. So I actually just finished making a project that we're going to be doing a tutorial on for the GitHub API, making GitHub API projects, showcasing how you can utilize different information to that API. Really strong learning project, but I'm going to do the whole thing in React. So that way it's like a really good learning lesson. And based off that, it's going to, especially based on the feedback on that, it's going to focus on what the next several projects are on.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny because you're actually quite natural at it. I don't like the term natural because I know a lot of it requires hard work. So it kind of takes away from that skill, but you're really good on Twitter. And I feel like if you were to actually be able to allocate time to it, like, I mean, you already kill it. I mean, you do YouTube quite part-time and you're, at 25,000 subs. So that's no small accomplishment.
My biggest problem is the lack of time in my day. Like even for this, we had to schedule this out how long ago just to make sure I was a part of this.
You're the one that was harder to, exactly, to put the actual date and time with. Yeah, for sure. It's literally in YouTube. It's just the lack of consistency due to your schedule.
Yeah. But I'm trying to prioritize this. I've got so much going on because I want to affect as many people as possible. So it's like juggling where the priorities lie. But YouTube is my big focus, especially this last half of the year.
You can definitely kill it. Francesco, what's this Hacktoberfest you're doing with Eddie? I know Eddie's all about open source.
I made 15. That's 15 minutes. I published this today. It's a 15 minutes mini crash course on Oktoberfest. I watched it 2 times after editing because it's super condensed. So this is like, let's say, the evolution of my interviews. It's high resolution. It's edited. So
you're saying look at the video to know what it is.
Yeah, it's basically explaining like what Oktoberfest is, the rules,
I've seen it from last
what you can do. But it's like no, it's super simple and clean. Eddie does an amazing job. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, if you want to know what it is, go to Francesco's channel. I see Danny's already got a sub from Pablo. Awesome. Make sure to check out Francesco too.
Yeah, and I'll also focus a lot on YouTube. I think I published 2 shorts and this today. So
yeah,
I'm very active, very active. But
that's it. I do here.
I completed my list.
All right.
Dennis.
So
now it's up to you. Now you have to use an algorithm to mix those lists.
So we have our 11 right here. So we have the headline. So that puts us at 12 rows. Danny, you didn't throw in the honorable mention yet, right? Okay, so let's see. We have one winner. Then we have Joseph, which is definitely going to be a winner. We just have to decide where that placement is. Sujoy, Sujoy KH, Vercel. Francesco, did you mention that? So you both mentioned that. So we have one winner. So let's just do this. I'll use my human algorithm. So got first. Joseph, I think, is going to have to be placed at second since you guys both have him so close. Danny has Sujoy at 1.
Okay.
And then you have at 6. Any other up here?
But I think that has to be the third one.
Is there any that are closer? I just want to try to throw them together.
TH, Daniel didn't mention TH, and Gavin, it's lower. So I think that Sujoy is the third one.
Okay, so you think Danny? Would you agree on that? Maybe we can throw Sujoy at number 3 instead of 2 in your case.
It's the second one. So yes,
I'm good with that.
That's fine.
Okay, then we have any other that.
Go ahead.
Let me check if I didn't mention Nelson. The 6, no.
If anything, I'll just be the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Gavin.
Gavin is in bottom.
I don't like. Does the positioning of the top 5 really matter here?
They shouldn't. Technically, the prize hasn't changed. So yeah, let's just see anybody that was mentioned twice. Let's put them on here. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Okay. So this is a good one.
There's another one. Rita is mentioned.
Rita is mentioned both.
Awesome. So here, these people. Okay, hold on a second. In this case, it does matter a little bit because only the top 5 will win prize money.
Okay.
Those other ones are going to be like honorable mentions. Then, was there any other that were mentioned twice?
I will say that maybe being mentioned for both of us, it's more than one of us liking it a lot and not being in the other one.
Yeah.
I would say this is my. So the last one.
That's just
the
last one.
But the last one is.
I see. Oh,
but they already have 5.
That's
already
number
have
11.
5.
Yeah.
We'll have to remove that for now.
Yeah, he's then the 11th.
Okay. So we have Rita, and then any other mentioned twice. We have. Yeah, you're right, Francesco. It'd be nice to be able to just put these in, find the matches, rank them, and then have a system for this. Might be a little fun project. Joy.
The last one has been mentioned 2 times, but it's number 11. No.
Okay.
My boy Parth is hype right now.
Okay, so we have this one. Francesco, you didn't like this one?
No, I liked this one. This was, I think, my 12th. So for me, it's okay if it's high. But let Danny also check the TH, and you should also take some decisions. Then.
I'm surprised. I thought we'd be pretty matched up on most of these. Only 4.
I mean, that's what happens with like design, right? It's very subjective.
Yeah.
I'm opening up the TH one again. So there's the loading image, and a lot of this. I mean, it was pretty basic, right? Like, there's no projects on here.
TH one, or which one was that again?
Yeah, the THUC pen stock.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, for example, I liked the TH, but
like the design is okay, but like there's no projects, there's no real information, there's nothing to really go off of. The only call to action is a contact me, so that's why I was like, I don't necessarily feel like it's doing much here, especially because like the whole purpose of the portfolio site is to show the portfolio projects, and there aren't any there.
So in that case, Francesco,
my grade it was for the design mainly because it was original. So
all right. In that case,
I'm not changing my line, so you have to choose, Dennis.
I'll be the tiebreaker, and I'm going to block it because I agree with Danny, even though I was the one that put it on the list.
Totally fine.
I mean, it's a good design. Don't get me wrong. Like just some things there.
All right. So in that case, whoops, I'm selecting too much. So there's no other duplicates. We have here. Let's just I'll gray out Rita because she's already on the list, right? If I'm hoping I'm getting the person right there because I'm only seeing the domain. It's not always the full name. Let's just do this. Then we have Joseph, Sujoy, and these can all be grayed out. That'll maybe make it easier to analyze this. Okay, so in that case, let's go on some parameters here with YK.
No, but there is the 4th one by Dennis, the Nelson
Which one?
5.
Here, how about this? What if we?
Nelson 5 got a 6 for me, so it was not bad.
Oh, maybe you put the wrong link.
Nelson5.dev for Dennis is the 4th one.
For Danny.
Oh, Danny put it on the 4th? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that one. For me, it was a 6, but...
that's the newspaper one.
Oh, so that was on both of them. No.
Oh,
yeah, check this one.
I like this one a lot. I mean, I would put it... If I were to do a tiebreaker... Sorry, Francesco, that I'm citing...
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's...
All right, let's do that. Nelson. All right, there's our top 5 winners. As long as, there's no issues as far as the templates there.
Yeah.
They have it. Okay. And then to get the other ones, Gavin, let's try this one.
Yeah, I was back and forth on this one, but it was definitely the closest for me to the top 5.
All right, let's throw that one in then. I'll be the tiebreaker. We'll throw in Gavin there.
But wait, yeah.
I guess the people that are number 6 through 10 have the most incentive to find out if these are templates.
But by the way, Dennis, I just noticed that the Gavin is in both the lists. It's 4th for me and 8th for Dennis.
Yeah.
Ooh, so Nelson might lose this one then. Or be put on a reserve list.
So this should be.
You're right. Okay,
Yeah.
Nelson. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, too strange. Yeah, Gavin.
Okay.
We need we need a software for this.
Yeah. People's emotions going up and down when they
Yeah.
think they're getting picked here. Okay.
Someone's
okay.
asking, are you going to give them participation certificates?
Well, technically, if you're a top 10 winner, I mean, you're a winner. You're just not getting the final prize because we need to allocate that money for the people that weren't reviewed. So there's a lot of people. Remember, we had over 155 participants that were eligible that haven't been reviewed here. So we want to give everyone a chance to win something. So that's the reason the top 10 won't win. Okay, so let's just throw in. I feel like we can throw in Sura, even though it's an honorable mention. What do you think about throwing this one in number 6? Again, there's no prize money for this one, but I feel like since we both agreed on that.
Yeah, for me, that was my 11th spot. It didn't make the top 10, but it was a good honorable mention.
Okay.
I also put as my number 10 Nidas, because I feel like it really showcases that even though you don't have a ton of money or anything like that, you could still host your project on a GitHub IO page and still have some pretty rock solid portfolio site.
I see.
People look at.
You're right. The GitHub IO thing is cool. It does at least show someone bootstrapping it. Francesco, what do you think? This was.
Yeah, about whom? Huh? This one? Huh?
This one, Nita?
Yes, I didn't like the
stock photos.
I can't recognize you, but no, it was good one.
Okay.
I mean, the portfolio is something very personal, so we can have a very different opinion.
So, Francesco, you actually listed this one at number 9. So, if Danny put this one at an honorable mention and you have it at number 9, I'm gonna have to put this one.
No, wait, no, I put it 2 times. So just remove the last one.
So okay, so in that case, let me put this person at number. Yep. I'll put that person at number 8 then, and then we'll find someone to put above them. So that way it's bragging rights at this point. I did like this one. So to override, let's see what I like and not like about it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was clean, and I can see the thumbnails. There's this that they needed to fix up.
Yeah,
but I thought there was enough creativity in there. We all pretty conclusive on throwing that one to maybe number 10.
Yeah.
Danny, I guess Francesco, you have it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any major objections? Okay, so we have one more.
That's okay.
Okay, let's go to Gavin. I think Gavin's not on this list. Do we have Gavin already? Oh no, we already have Gavin here.
No, Gavin already have it.
Okay, I'm opening up so many links.
I liked this one. Mukhtar. Let me check.
Nelson. So this one's has been added or hasn't. I do like Nelson personally. Like if I were to do this. Oh no, we already added Nelson. Okay. Okay, let's see. I hate breaking people's hearts. All right. I'm not the only ones that weren't mentioned. So this is.
Yeah, there's this Mukhtar. This Mukhtar is.
You like it?
Not good. Let me check again now. It was there.
I worry that one almost seems like it could be a template. I'm just gonna keep opening them up and looking at them. There's definitely some flaws with Sasha's. I did like the design.
Yeah, I thought the flaws were very minimal though.
Okay. It didn't stand out to me. Francesco, what do you think?
Which one?
For Sasha. This one.
I liked the Yo Mukhtar more, but because I didn't like the Sasha that you over. This I like this one more, but
even if this one's a template, I feel like they customized enough here. Again, I just feel like I've seen this look a lot. That's what worries me.
Yeah, but still it has like a personal touch because the picture is him. So
all right, well let's throw that in. That's going to be right here. So we have 10 top 5. So our 5 winners are going to be these ones right here.
But you miss one. There is an empty line.
Where? Oh, here. I guess.
Yeah. So we can take the other one.
Okay. I'm trying to find one of yours that I like, Francesco.
No. We already added this one.
This one's already added. Okay, let me grade that out. You're right. Software would help. What was this one again?
This one. Yeah, this was
a lot of text, but I did like the other section for the projects and the Joy. I'm just trying to. It'd be so nice to. Okay, so we already added Joy, right? So Joy's already there. Yeah,
it's already there. You have to make the choice, Dennis.
All right, give me a second. I'll do this. You didn't like this one, Francesco, right? But I did like Danny's. Much. I did like Danny's opinion of it, so I'm gonna throw it in. Or Danny's feedback on that. I thought that was really cool. Definitely shows someone.
Yep.
Doing a lot of hard work there. All right, so here we are. Here's what I'm gonna do. We'll have all these in the light green, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the winners of $500. And
there you go.
Just change the text color.
Let's go.
Boom. Okay. So if one of these is your website, I have your email. These are our top 5 winners. Unless there is something wrong with that. Yeah. Cool.
Look,
so
there's one person. If they do this in the next minute, can we do this real fast? They've been begging me for a portfolio site. I just want to quickly go over it super fast to just review it.
Let's do it.
Because they're very confident that theirs is better than everyone we've reviewed.
Then they'll be disappointed if we harp on it.
I'm definitely gonna
let's go on.
What's the domain? You want to send it in the chat or private chat?
Here's the site. Hold on. I'll send it in the Twitter DM. I'll send it here. StreamYard. I forget we have.
Yeah. Let's do the private chat.
All right, there you go. I haven't looked at it yet. I just copied the link, so let's see.
All right, let's make sure it's not some. So when I saw this one, I'm gonna give my feedback first. Okay. I actually thought it was good, and I almost considered it. What I did not like was this background right here. I thought that was a little bit off. I'll just give my initial feedback, and again, now we have to critique them hard because this person said they're better than all of them. The font there looked a little bit squished right there. I, again, really did not like that background. Thought this separation of text was a little bit off. I do like this section. I thought this is pretty cool. It's not nothing to it, but it's like, okay, yeah, it's your personality. Yeah, I don't like these buttons. The gradient doesn't really make sense to me. You do have some gradient up here, but the button here does not go with like the font itself on there. Maybe separate the number and just how it's designed. I'm not a fan of. Who was this in the chat?
Ice Soccer. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't necessarily know why you think the portfolio site is better than everyone that we reviewed. I think there's a lot off with this site, if I'm being completely honest. The projects don't tell me nothing at all. The image could be better. The status, I think that's a cool little thing, but I don't think that should be a whole highlighted section. Your contact information, I think. Oh, I can only copy your email, but it doesn't send me a redirection to it. I don't know. I think this is a very, very, very basic design. I don't think there's anything about this that was like, whoa, I needed to see this. And I'll be completely honest.
I don't like these buttons.
Yeah, there's very little that like wows me in this respect. And for you to kind of be messaging in the chat the whole time about this as well, I feel like you really missed the mark on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was expecting something mind-blowing.
I get it. Like you're excited. Like this person probably put a lot of time into this. I'm assuming, I don't want to offend you, but it looks like maybe you're a little bit newer with it and you're just trying to, as far as like when it comes to design, and you're just really proud of it. Like I've done that where I've worked on something and I'm just like obsessed with what I have, and I show it to my wife and she's just like, nah, like you did too much. Like you used too many colors. I'm referring to myself. Like she'll give me this feedback, so I know what it's like. I definitely don't think it's like terrible, but yeah. Francesco, now you gotta see, like you probably love that feature. Like that is cool. Like I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So the first thing that I see a lot of effort put into this portfolio, giving me the vibe of someone who worked a lot. So maybe this is why Soccer say this in the chat. This doesn't mean that something gives good vibes to everyone. It seems good, but for example, I don't like the font at the top, which is different from what you use. It seems like
It's like
good,
Roboto
but
font,
good,
I
but
believe.
it's like using different ideas. It doesn't see like a whole website all together. I don't know if you have the same vibe.
Consistency. Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I mean, this doesn't mean that it is
See,
bad.
that's the other thing too. Like on the blog, the very first thing, again, as a business site, right? The first thing I see is, bruh, I shouldn't have like that's. I think you're missing the
Right here.
Yeah, I think you're missing the aspect. I did put one more in the private chat. This will be the last one we'll review. Just, I think this is a pretty decent one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had to go brutal on it because this person did say they were better than everything we looked at, which I would strongly disagree with. But yeah. So here's where we are at now. So we have a list of eligible finalists. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to include everybody, even the people that just won. You can't win twice. Oh, here. Okay, I want to make sure to hide the emails. You can't win twice. But if for some reason your template was a duplicate when you did win this drawing, we'll just draw like 2 extra people just in case, or we'll email you and maybe we can do another drawing after once we find someone's template. So we may announce you, and then if you're not qualified, we'll take you off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 142 names, and we're going to put them into this random wheel. So we're just going to go ahead and remove that. We're going to go to random wheel, paste that in, and we're going to pick how many? Let's see. We have $1,500, and we have 150 for the top 5. What did I say in the hackathon page? So 7 people. So we can do 7. Pick 7 from here. All right. So you all ready?
Go for it.
So this is the most interesting part.
Here, let me do this. Actually, let me take my remove my screen and then add it back because I do want to be able to hear that sound. People love, the actual spinning sound.
Yeah.
So I do want to add that for effect. So we'll do share screen. I need to add audio, system audio.
Yeah. Why does it say 200 entries? 200.
Maybe I duplicated them. Now it's 141. Okay.
So what does this spin for?
It's going to randomly select a name from this list. And this is going to be everybody that participated because we wanted to kind of separate the designers from all developers. So let's go ahead and do that. Close this one out. And let's go for the first one. So we have 7. I don't want to hear the audio.
Okay.
Oh, it's echoing, unfortunately. I guess there's no audio. All right, Zane. This is our first winner. All right, $100.
There you go.
Nice. All right. So I'll review the stream after, but I guess I could. Let me just remove the name so we don't
making money was that easy, Danny.
All right, let's go ahead and do this again. Unfortunately, we don't have that effect. I wish we had that spinning effect, but I'm in. All right. Oh, wow! I didn't think I got to this one. Solokdeen. All right. Awesome. Congratulations. So far, nobody that's won the original.
Yeah.
Then he's putting the names.
Yeah, that way you don't have to watch the video again to figure it out.
It's just at the end. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have number 3 now.
Yeah, I think we have results if you see top right, but
it's
better to type them.
Oh, does it? It actually gives me the results. Okay. All right. And
Dilawar Hussein.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. So that's number. No, we need 4. Okay, I have the count.
Nice.
Congratulations. All right.
4 to go.
And again, thank you, Daily Dev or Daily.dev and Agora for sponsoring this. They're the ones that are making this possible. Without them, I've given away money, but I don't have that much money to give away. So it's nice that companies care and volunteer for this stuff. Hopefully.
What do you mean, Dennis? I thought you had like $10 million sitting in the background, man.
I wish. All right. So we have Harsh Sukhija. See, Francesco, this is why I always ask you to do it, because you know how to enunciate those things. I can only do
No.
Slavic
It's only that I keep a straight face, so I seem confident.
You sound confident. Yeah, exactly. When I say, I start like getting these expressions. All right, so we have number 5. Let's see. Who's this going on? It's too small to see for everyone else. Gavin, Nelson. Muhammad. Okay. It was almost
Ali.
Nelson. Didn't we have a... Nelson was one of our finalists, right? Yeah, Nelson almost got that one too, but I think Nelson would rather have $150 over 100. All right, so we have number 5, 2 more. Let's spin it.
2 more. Let's go.
All right, who's this going on?
I can't
Vivek Yudish. Oh, awesome.
Mohibul.
That's a long name.
Surov.
Congratulations.
Hard. And now the last
one. All right, now we do drum roll.
Let's go.
All right, let's see. Francesco, you rigged it.
There we go, Yuri. It was worth.
Wow. And I just got a leg cramp. Wow, that's awesome.
That works.
Well, congratulations. I don't know who's all in the chat still with this. I hope the winner saw their name. Awesome. Congratulations, Yuri. Well, I'm assuming it's the same one. Yeah, I think we only have one Yuri.
Yeah,
I would have noticed that.
I think, the name, it was just Yuri, so it can be. We double check. Now, first of all, copy the results.
The results,
check
Let's do this. So we have the 7 results, and I will copy these, throw these in the chat. So here, I can't. I have to use my other window for this. And that's going to be...
Why are they 8? Because Surov is okay. No.
Oh, I was supposed to do hyphens here.
Surov is the...
Oh, you posted that in the comments.
Yeah. I'm just posting it there so everyone can see it. No, is that not a...
Oh, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if you meant to do that or not.
Yeah. I just wanted them to see it. So I put in some hyphens there. I have that for myself. Awesome. Congratulations. I mean, we're over at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's been way longer.
We said... Yeah, Dennis said 1 hour, but I already knew this. So that it was not
says the guy that does 12 hours.
Just do some math. You know that you are not.
Look, some of these comments have been here for 2 hours. I'm like, wow, I can't believe y'all hung out this long to just check out some portfolios. So happy you hung out this long.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Danny, Francesco, seriously, thank you for being here. It's. I mean, if I do this alone, no one's going to watch. It's boring. So appreciate you all joining. I mean, Danny, again, you just give a load of insight. We can pick your brain all day, and I definitely want to, if I'm given the opportunity, want to have you back here. Danny and I have done a stream before, and I love the quote you gave me, and that's what I put on the thumbnail for our stream together, and that was de-risk yourself. That was my other Danny quote. I have to remember the one that you gave me today, which is we eat with our eyes. Awesome stuff. Again, thank you for being here. If you have any final words, go ahead and do whatever shout outs or call out somebody in the audience, whatever you want.
I just want to say that iSoccer said, Danny, you killed me, but thank you. So it's also a sportive person. So I liked that.
Honestly, for me, my biggest goal is always getting from one step to the next. And I don't believe in sugarcoating the truth. I need to tell you what's there so you can take action right away. And so hopefully the points that we pointed out were valuable. Hopefully no one took any offense to any of this, because at the end of the day, we did this. Number one, it's a fun way to do something, but also the biggest thing of all, like being serious about this, it's to help you grow and get insight. So even if you weren't a winner, I hope you got something out of this to take away in somewhere else. Also, I just kind of noticed with my camera, the way that it's situated like this, like it's like a podcast view kind of situation. So like, I'm kind of digging this vibe a little bit right now. It's kind of, I just did this in spur of the moment since I just got these new monitors, but I'm kind of digging that. But hopefully, you got some value out of this. Please, subscribe, follow, whatever else that you can do on the socials. And, hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dennis, for inviting me. I also like to thank Daily Dev for sponsoring this. Super happy. We will do this together again. It's already the second time. And just want to say that also we are also developers, so we understand the effort that it can take. Maybe you stayed 4 hours to center a div to make some CSS. No, CSS really drives me crazy. So just want to say that we are trying to help, not here to offend anyone. So double down on what Danny said. really appreciate, and we hope that we gave some good feedback that can maybe they will make you land a job, or maybe just give just a little help. That's the idea.
It'll make you better. Iron sharpens iron. When you get that feedback, never take it personally. Just keep chiseling away at the edges, and you'll be a better developer. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's it for us. Thank you, everyone. Good night and good luck. And what are all the other things you can say?
Nice.
Take care.
Perfect.